Oh, we be live. I gotta turn that up a little bit. I think I finally got the mic down to where I can get solid volume on it consistently. So, scoot a little closer to the desk. That will be nice today. Oh, YouTube says I'm now live. Who would have thought? Interesting, I got 2 of these on right now. So this is the one that's live now. That must be the one that was like 2 seconds long. So, boom. Now we're actually going. Channel content. Refresh that. There we go. Now it's the correct one that's up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the tab pulled up. Oh, I didn't even open up the interactive season. Let me actually do that first, just so I have that in place in case we want to look at it at any point. Boom, get that pulled up. Boom. Perfect. Done, looking good. All right, so I don't have this game film, which means there's all the clinics and stuff, miscellaneous. I don't have a whole lot still in there. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into... I think I was just uploading it there, wasn't I? Or was it other items from last season? Mayo, yeah, it was this season. So here's how you take film out of the 6A pool. And I'll get to see if anybody else is watching. Let's see here. No, not a single team in 6A is currently pulling film out of the pool. So, obviously no game this week. I got a bye week, and now boom, it's unlocked. So I can go around and see what I want from any team. Who was the... I gotta go back and check. Who was the home team last season at Park Cottage Grove? So it should be under Park. There we are. Park High School. Stillwater game. Mounds View. I think that's Eastview. Game. This, okay, I'm assuming this is it. Eastridge, and we want to add that to other items. Miscellaneous, and I don't want to share it with anybody. So now if I go over here, I should have uploaded it. Yes. There we are, and that's how we add game film. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot this was a week 1 matchup. Oh boy, it is going to be wet and rainy. I'm totally forgetting that week 1 a lot of games were delayed because we had thunderstorms rolling through the Twin Cities. Like Wayzata, or Lakeville South at Wayzata, we actually delayed our kickoff by an hour. Good start to the night. Glad to hear it, Mr. Steen. And you know, just to go over really fast, if you look up here, I have O, D, and K, and it's lined up for Park Cottage Grove. So literally nothing is labeled. I don't know the formations, the personnel. We're going into this completely bare. And I've watched some Eastridge stuff because we played them in the playoffs a year or 2 ago. I know a little bit more about them, but I literally know nothing about Park Cottage Grove. Well, I wouldn't say nothing. I know some stuff. They're actually, disclaimer, they're going to have a new offense this coming season. All I know about it is that it's not a gap scheme. It's going to be zone blocking scheme for their offense. That's all I've heard Coach Fritklund talk about. And I know last week in the Anoka Blaine stream, I talked about how Coach Fritklund has that whole 150-page essay. That actually, you know what? Let me go to Park Cottage Grove over here. It's his master's thesis. I know that I linked it and someone was reading it, but yeah, found a link to his master's thesis. And there you go. 150. I'm assuming most of that's references, but factors contributing to an elite high school football program. There you go. Obviously, very smart coach. So, yeah. And then on the other end of that, if we want to go back to the top, table of contents, please. We head over to Eastridge. Ooh, Eastridge. Scary. They're one of the youngest schools in 6A. They've only been around since, what, like 2009, I think? So, yeah, very young team. There's Coach Fritze right there, one of the offensive masterminds. Now, I've always talked about how good of a coach he is, but no, like, you have to have like more context than that of his family lineage. His dad was a coach at, I want to say it was Egan. Then his grandpa was a longtime coach up at Bloomington Jefferson, like back in the 70s and 80s when Jefferson was really solid. Yeah, so definitely comes from a long line of coaching. It's no wonder he's so smart and good with all this stuff. But yeah, West Coast offense, and I think both these teams, at least in this footage, are going to be spread offenses, a lot of West Coast system stuff. Obviously East Ridge is. I don't know too much about Park Cottage Grove. I know they do a lot of 10s, some 11 personnel, all shotgun spread, and a nice mix of running and passing. And I'm assuming inside zone's probably their favorite run play. How much do we want to, just right now, I'm going to call it, inside zone's probably their favorite run play. We'll see if I'm right or not, but yeah, so that's just kind of the context, and then a little more context about these teams. They're both in Section 4, which is out east, but only one of them is actually in the East Division, the Metro East, which would be East Ridge, because, where are they? There we go. Park Cottage Grove is in the Maroon Division. And from what I remember correctly, this was actually a close game last year. It was only 28-14 over a Maroon team. That was just kind of the thing with East Ridge. They had a lot of close wins. Close game. Well, they blew out Woodbury, lost to Stillwater. Close one to Forest Lake, though. Yeah, it's just really strange. And beat Mayo at home, yeah. And then that was the one that really shocked me. How do you, well, I guess two. You blow out Lakeville North at Lakeville North, but then you lose to Champlin Park. I don't know. And it was at home, too. It's not like you had to go all the way up to Champlin Park. Strange. Yeah, I don't quite know. East Ridge has been kind of inconsistent. It's like they were 5-3 in the regular season last year, and then they lose in the first round of the playoffs to a Champlin Park team that's kind of middle of the pack. Whereas the year before that, they only went 2-6 in the regular season, and then we all know, smashed Anoka, well, not smashed, but upset Anoka, upset Minnetonka, and then we got that lucky field goal block at the end of the game to beat them. Yeah, they make playoff runs. Then the year before that, kind of the same. I think they were 5-3 regular season. Had some nice wins over STMA. Obviously, it's tough to beat EP for anybody, but beat Hopkins, beat Egan, took care of business in the rivalry game versus Woodbury. But then upset well, I guess not an upset. They beat Totino Grace in round 1. This was the big upset, though. Beating Prior Lake at Prior Lake. Not an easy place to go and win, but, you know, as we talked about 2 weeks ago with kind of Prior Lake's offense and defense, stubborn, doesn't like to switch out of cover 4, and hey, Coach Fritze, if he sees that, he'll take advantage of it, and he sure did. He and Tanner Zolonsky just carved up Prior Lake. Prior Lake could not defend the deep ball at all. Just backside fade was there all day. Maple Grove, ooh, yeah. I mean, they only lost to eventual state champion Maple Grove by 7 points. Like, that's nutty. So yeah, a lot of credit to East Ridge. Normally, they're better than what their record shows them to be, so can't underestimate the Raptors. As for Park Cottage Grove, they've only been 6A since 2019. Oh, no, they were still 5A in 2019. It must have been 2021 that they got moved up. Yeah, I guess it was. 2021, you get moved up to 6A. And who's their first opponent? You go from playing Apple Valley, Hastings, and all those teams to Lakeville South. Ooh, what a way. Yeah, and that was the 2020, or that was 2021. That's the year that Lakeville South won the state title. So you got like Camden Dean, Carson Hansen. That was just a loaded roster. Ooh. Yeah. And I mean, they got decent Maroon games in here. They actually beat Anoka. This was when Anoka was still rebuilding a little bit. Well, Burnsville, Hopkins, you should be. Surprising win versus Egan, but again, kind of like with Egan and Anoka, this was like very early stages of the Coach Wasserich and Coach Johnson taking over, so it makes sense. But like, yeah, Eastview one's a little strange. Obviously, losing to in-district rival Woodbury. you're going to. I'm surprised they didn't play Eastridge. So here's something that a lot of kids don't know. We'll say ISD 388, I think it is, or 833. Yeah, 833. That's it. So this is South Washington County Schools. What a lot of people don't know is that obviously Eastridge and Woodbury are in the same school district. But I had no clue Park Cottage Grove is actually in that school district and has been in there obviously significantly longer than what's it called has. There you go. Look at the boundary maps. Woodbury High School, Eastridge High School, somewhere. Woodbury High School. That's Eastridge. It's kind of a weird, like, U shape. I wonder why these kids get to go to Woodbury. Maybe just cut it off there and cut it off there. I don't know. I don't draw boundaries. I couldn't tell you. And then this entire giant section down here is all Park Cottage Grove. Yeah, so I had no idea. Get that out of there. Start watching some film, though, now that we have the context. And this was also a relatively low-scoring game. It was only 28-14 Eastridge. So definitely a little excited to see this one. And obviously I apologize for some of the, we'll say, water dripping on the window. Very rainy first game. I'm assuming this is the opening kickoff. Or was that offense? I can't tell. It says K. This is not a kick. That would be offense. Looks like Eastridge is in 12 personnel. Yep. Wing slot. Or I'm sorry, not wing slot. Wing twins. You have tight end H-back up there. I'm surprised if they're running a single back set, but they're under center. Look at how far off he is. Normally they're like more of a pistol spread, but that's almost... He's 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's pretty deep. And then obviously twin receivers down here. A run play first down. Safe assumption. And there you go. It's just outside zone or stretch. Oh, penalty, though. Who jumps? I must have missed it. Is it the receiver? Who threw the flag? I don't see any flags. I don't know. Something was weird there. Oh, encroachment on the defense. Maybe I missed the flag because of all the rain. But yeah, generally they're more of a spread offense, and they do a ton of different formations. Like here, it's sort of like a wing twins, but now H is more of a sniffer behind here. You're still tight end this side. Twin receivers up top. Park Cottage Grove is a 3-4 defense. You have your 3 down linemen, outside backers shifting up there. They're trying to do a lot of pre-snap movement to mess with them. I kind of like that. See if it works out for them, though. And then obviously you got corner there. I'm wondering... They probably are playing... It looks like they're playing flip coverage. So what is flip coverage? He's probably safety. He's stacked down because they have 2 men in the box. That's another high safety. And then they flip a corner from over here to over here against like 12 or 21 personnel. And it's basically like an I formation, like 21 I twins. Very similar. Just you have an H-back instead of like a traditional fullback. Oh, what do we got? Another run play? Our left. Yep. He's got the kick out. Oh no. Why did we run that? So look at the hole we open up out here. He's leading around. He should be following his blocker out this way, but instead he cuts up the middle where, I mean, he sort of follows the pile, but that's where your guard pulled from. You never run into the hole where the guard pulled from. And what happened to Park on this? They have 3 down linemen or only 2? Am I missing something? They only have 2 down linemen. No. Oh my goodness. So I missed this the first play. There's only 2 down linemen. You know what that is? That's the 2-4 nickel like we were talking about last week with Anoka. Normally you only play nickel into like 11 personnel, but right now they're playing a nickel package into 12 personnel. So if I'm Coach Fritze, which also I'm surprised there's so many more kids in the Park sideline than the Eastridge sideline, because I think Eastridge is significantly bigger student-wise. I don't know. Maybe Park got the whole sophomore team out there. Who knows? But in regards to Coach Fritze, I think it's a smart play calling. You're getting a 2-4 nickel look, and what are you doing? You're running right at the middle. Park's trying to account for it by saying, oh, well, if we're going to run a 2-4 nickel, we're going to send both inside backers. To me, that says these are all 5 DBs, outside backer, in. And then your 2 down linemen there. Huh. Strange. But if these are both DBs, then why not go with a 2 high safety look, especially against this? You can keep 1 stack down here, roll him over there, put him back there. Or instead of rolling him over, just keep him there, roll him over there. Now you have a 2 high safety look. I don't know. Strange, but yeah, there's so many ways that Coach Fritze could attack it. He's got one-on-one coverage out here with no deep safety. Obviously, you've got numbers in the box. They only have 2 smaller linemen. You're in 12 personnel, so there's a mismatch here. Like, there's so much Eastridge could do right now to take advantage of Park because of the defense they chose to go in. And again, let me pull up practice scripts over here. We'll do a little bit of drawing. If you are in 12 or 11 personnel. Like here we have 11 personnel. Say I want to take out a defensive end. Or, well, no, we'll take out the nose guard, because that's what Anoka did. That's the 2-4 nickel. You take him out, and you put in a nickel back. So now you have your nickel, and then we'll say they pinch them down into 2s. You bring them up, him up. And so what Anoka did was they kept... Sometimes they'd have the 2 high safeties and roll the nickel down, and then they'd play cover 4. But most of the time what they did is free safety, nickel, strong safety, and then they'd play deep cover 3 out of that. So just use some dotted lines to imagine it. There's your zone, deep middle for the free safety, and then deep third for the corner. And so that would be their cover 3. And then obviously you blitz the front 4, off the edge, and then it's kind of fun. You can do whatever you want since you're stacked here. You can send them slant. You can slant them the other way if you wanted to. You can have backers blitz the backside and do all kinds of fun twists. There's just a lot of fun stuff you can do with the 2-4 nickel. But again, the mismatch here is that let's get X out here. Y comes over here. Now we're going to talk about the weirdness of the current nickel package. So X receiver and Z, we'll say X is on the line because he's inside. That's the online receiver. Z is off. They're playing flip coverage. So they flipped a corner over here. So corner. Free safety is sort of over the middle. He's actually closer to the hash. Quarterback was under center. Let's delete some of these arrows right here. H-back is a sniffer back here. I mean, it's essentially a 21 personnel. It's almost like I twins, or you could call it not like a pro slot because he moved across. It's more like that, like we said, the wing and then slot or wing twins over here. So you got your twin receivers. And then where did they stacked their strong safety down here. Let's flip these around. Sam. Well, we'll just put B over there. He's another backer. And then Mike will flip. They're stacked, and they were kind of like moving about in between. You should be in a 2 technique. And then where was their other nickel? Was he just like, he was kind of floating here, wasn't he? So, yeah, maybe they put nickel on the backs, or maybe they put nickel over there, corners here, and he's stacked there. Like, this is a very strange defensive front. Where do I see holes on it? Well, let's go take a look on film. They do cheat a backer up to the edge here, so he's up here. So there's a little bit more gap coverage, and then he's kind of behind. But again, there's so many ways to attack this. You could do, if you have this out here, you can do a push-fade concept like that. If you're in man coverage, any kind of crossing pattern would work. So your speed out with your slant underneath it. Little rub concept. If I could delete it, little rub concept right there. That would work. I don't think they're playing zone coverage into this. And that's the other thing. If they're trying to disguise the coverage, which I would highly recommend doing. If you play Eastridge, disguise your coverage. It's one of the best ways to mess with them. But what are they trying to do here? And again, there's so many different ways. Like, I'm looking, okay, I've got numbers. If they only have these 6 guys that are heavier, 5 light DBs, and this is what I have in the box, obviously I want to be running the ball. Even though it's like, well, but there's 8 men in the box right here, right? 8 men. Well, 2 of those 8 men are not very big. So essentially you only have 6 technical box defenders and 2 guys that maybe have to make a tackle as an emergency at the end. So yeah, I definitely would run the ball. And there's so much you can do against this. You can do like a trap. You know what? You don't even have to block the same. You can go out there. You can do a little switch block there. If the Mike cheats up, we don't even have to take him. We can go you straight there, you cover there, you go there. Boom, and you can do a little trap off it, and then why block him? He's not going to make the play. Go up there, go get him, and then boom, turn around, hand off. We'll say hand off this side to follow the pulling guard, get right behind. And there's your touchdown. And you know what? We don't even need to block that corner out there. We can probably go ahead and get Y to go block the safety. And there you go. Because this corner most likely is going to be watching the edge or the outside. I doubt he'd fill on the inside there. And for good measure, you can have the quarterback boot. So turn and hand off. He can turn around left shoulder, open this way, hand off that side, boot out, and then there's your pass concept. And then you wouldn't even need to block the free safety, because if you're booting, then you can block corner. Say quarterback turns, opens this way, and then boots out. Oh, that was a bad line. There we go, and boots out that way. Well, now you have pass coverage. So there's just, like I said, there's a lot of different ways to attack Park Cottage Grove's defense right now. I'm not a fan of how they're aligning. And they run, power the first play. Was that the same 2 and 3 or the same play? No, that's 1st and 10. That's right, it was a penalty. This is the play we just watched, but they ran power. And it's a decent play call. There's a little bit of holding at the bottom there. It's a good run, though. So, that was 1st and 5. 2nd and 1. Eastridge is likely to take a deep shot here. If you follow like the standard rules of offensive playbooks, you always take deep shots on 2nd and 1. Unless you're trying to be conservative and just milk play clock, then just get the easy first down like Centennial does. Most spread teams are taking a shot. No. Oh, and they stuffed it. No way. They're still in their 2-4 nickel. Both back. Notice how both backers are walked up. So, if I'm... Where's the big hole here? Look at all the distance between these two backers, and there's no D lineman. This is really strange. So, the way they're defending into this, we'll delete all these lines here, go with just the formation. They put the end out here on the tackle. The outside backer's still outside. He's on the nose, and then he's cheated up in between them, and he's right off the butt of the end. So they're playing like a 4-0 with defensive ends, and then an outside backer there. Like, huh? So if he's cheated up here, which he kind of is, he's a little bit too tight. He's out there. Look at that huge gap on the right side there. I mean, suppose you ran GH counter into this. You can just straight up block there. You can hook. It'll let me. You block. Well, yeah, that was a crap line. Come on, center. There we go. You get out there. You can go straight to him. Tight end. We don't want to block the Sam. You go kill the free safety. These two can take care of those two. Tackle either has to seal off him or seal off the end, whichever comes first. And then, I mean, look at how few guys there are to come around. You know what? Yeah. I'd probably say to do a better blocking scheme, the H-back has to take the tackle here would have to aim at the will backer. These two would have to double team there up to the mic. And then he seals off right there. That way the center can take the mic if he blitzes, which it looks like they're doing. Kick out the bandit. You come around, lead up inside, take him, and there is your GH counter. Then open the handoff this side. Quarterback can open this way, and then there's your bootleg off of it. Like this. When I say take the ball that way, then he does his counter steps back this way and hits the hole, and there he goes. And the tight end's blocking the free safety. And they have a really good tight end. I think the kid went D1. I forget where he committed, but they had a really good tight end this year. There's literally just so much that Eastridge can do against this against this defense. Make it full screen. Yet it looks like they just ran the same play again. They ran power. And again, the running back's not following his lead blocker. See how... Are they trying to run like a trap here? It sort of looks like they're trying to set up a trap. Because if you look, watch the play side tackle and tight end. tight end runs right by, goes up to backer. No one's blocking the edge defensive end here, the 4 technique. I guess that's kind of a 6 if he's all the way out there. But the guard doesn't kick him out either. And the running back just kind of dives into where all the O-line are pushing. If you look, you see all butts here. They're clearly pushing everyone that way. It looks like this is supposed to be a kick-out block here, and then he runs in the alley in between. But that's not happening. I'm really confused by what the blocking scheme is here from Eastridge. But, you know, that's why Park likes to do kind of that radar or prowl defense like Lakeville North does. They just like to have a lot of movement up front, and they'll give you a different look up front every time because it messes with the offensive line's blocking rules. Unless you're Blaine from last week. Then you just don't know what your blocking rules are. But yeah, I give credit to Park there. That's a good stand. Now it's 3rd and 2. They lost a yard. Oh, there's that jumbo eye. So they're in double tight. Sniffer over here. Another fullback. And once again, the running back is really deep for some reason. I don't know why they have him deeper than like... I guess he's at about 7 there. 7.5. Maybe scoot him up a little bit. And 6 is probably as far back as he needs to go. I'm out Park Cottage Grove already. It is only like the 5th play of the game. 4th play, because there was a penalty. Okay, so... Lakeville North, except now they're in an unbalanced eye. So, you know, Coach Fritze, he likes to mess with teams. You have a tight end this side. It's unbalanced. There's nobody up here at all. So Y and X are on the same side. There's your sniffer, H, running back. All skill positions are on one side of the football. Yeah. As you can tell, Park's sort of adapted. I'm assuming one of these is a linebacker. He's got to be... Now, he's a little bit smaller. He looks like he could be a linebacker, but then that means they have a DB here. These 2 are DBs, and those are DBs. Like, I don't understand what Park's defense is here. And if these 5... Like, all 5 of those guys are way off the line, he's not in the box. You only have 5 guys immediately attacking on 3rd and 2. Like, this... is where they need to go to get a first down. How much of your defense is behind that mark? Like, that, a little bit strange to me. Maybe they're expecting Coach Fritze to bomb it deep. I know Apple Valley used to do that when I was at Jefferson. If it was 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1, most teams will go short or do a run play. Apple Valley's throwing verts. So maybe that's good scouting. Maybe they know that, hey, Coach Fritze's like Apple Valley. He likes to throw verts. And it's GH counter. Oh, but they pull a tackle. No, they don't. It's the fullback and the H-back. Yeah, you know, it's more like a power than just instead of pulling a guard, they pull the H-back around, and then all the O-line just down blocks. See the fullback, number 40-something, gets a kickoff or a kick-out block there. Ooh, not a fan of which side of the defender he's on. If he's doing this right, he starts off decent. He's on this side. He's got to keep working to turn that shoulder that way. Because as is, look at what happens. He's holding a little bit. He tries to fight off. If he keeps working to this side and kicks him out, that's a great block. This time, running back does a much better job following his blockers. Who does the H-back take? O-line, great double team at the point of attack, too. Look at this. Nose guard is taken out of the equation. So, something we can talk about compared to Blaine last week. See how there's a double team? Once the nose guard's neutralized, then they go up to backer. It's not just, nope, I'm just going to go to backer right away. Or with Anoka, where they're like, oh, just keep running over the nose guard, and then we just don't get to backer. Eastridge does a great job at the blocking there. We got lots of blocking at the second level. That's a good run play. Picks up a good chunk of yards. And again, go back to, remember what I was saying earlier about how all of Park's kids are way too far off the ball? That one does a decent job run fitting, but 2 are blocked, and now again, those 2 kids were so far back at the snap, it's only 3rd. You only have to get here. He's still 4 yards away from where he needs to get a stop at, and the running back is literally right there, less than 2 yards away. Who's going to get, and the running back is a full head of steam. He's not running yet. Who's going to get there first? Like, it's just physics right there. He's got no chance of making that play. I don't understand the play call, and I don't understand the defense. Okay, so they're back in their wing slot. Not wing slot, I'm sorry, wing twins, except it's tight this time. Both the receivers are up there tight. Normally when you bunch in your offense like that, you're going to do something that spouts out because the defense is also compressed. Like, going back to Shakopee. When Shakopee would line up in double slot tight with the receivers in tight, then did I hear about the fight that happened at EP this evening? No, I did not hear about a fight at EP this evening. Fights really don't interest me at all. But yeah, see, this is the strange thing. Park still hasn't adapted, so they give up the first down. They're still playing their 2-4 nickel package into 12 personnel. And again, they're keeping 5 DBs / linebackers back deep. You can kind of see now that those are all 5 are presumably DBs. And then here's your front 6. You can clearly see the backers stacked behind the D ends. I guess 1 end and 1 tackle. Maybe that's a stand-up end, so it's more of like a 3-3 nickel. I don't know. Park of Cottage Grove's defense is confusing me, but you know who it's not confusing? Coach Fritze, because he's like, all right, I see what they're doing. We can just easily attack it. And again, it looks like they're double man, 1 high safety on the opposite side. He's there, and if he's covering the tight end, then yeah, I don't know. This is super strange. I don't think he's on tight end. It was for RWE versus Strictly. Oh yeah, there was supposed to be all that basketball stuff tonight at Eden Prairie, right? It was a bunch of I don't know if it's AAU or club basketball, whatever it's called. Ugh, doesn't surprise. That's a shame. Would have been a good event, but some people just can't control their emotions, right? Remember how we talked about boot earlier? And again, talk about great play calling. Eastridge is setting up all the heavy run plays. And what do they do right off of it? They set up a play action. Give Park Cottage Grove credit. They did adapt. So they're playing more of like a cover 1 here. Wait. What? So look at this. X receiver just goes right between the 2 DBs. Nobody takes him. The free safety has to run all the way over there. What? And the free safety abandoned. What? Park, what is your defense? What are we like? Even the way it's played, is it too complex for the kids to understand? Look at this. Neither of those 2 pick him up. So that tells me it's zone. Neither of those 2 went with the X receiver, so it's got to be zone. But then he's going back deep. Who's he taking? Where are his eyes? Who is he looking at? He's just getting to his zone. So they're playing zone coverage out of this. But again, 2 defenders are in the same zone. Remember how I was talking about with Forest Lake a few weeks ago? They had their stack down safety, and it was their outside linebacker outside of them. They both drop back into coverage and end up close to each other. Well, this is like the extreme version of that. You literally have 2 guys matched up on 1 there. I don't know what coverage Park Cottage Grove is playing. I cannot decipher this. It looks like man because he picks up the H-back going across. Does a good job there. He picked up the running back. It almost looks like a cover 1. He was the backside here. He's staying with his man. So are they playing half man, half zone? Is it like a cover 6? Talk about a complicated defense. It might be a little bit too complicated for high schoolers, unless you have the right kids to run it, but I don't know that Park has those kids. Based on the first, 6 plays here, I don't think I'd agree with that. Guess who you are? I'm assuming Adam Rich. Boom. Shocking. And just like that, we are not even 2 minutes into this game, and Eastridge already has a touchdown. I mean, great play call. They set up play action off their top run plays. Park Cottage Grove bid on it, and they don't even know what their coverage is. You got man here. Nobody went with the X. You have 2 guys. I mean, you literally have 3 defenders taking 1 receiver that's doing nothing. I don't understand that at all. What is the free safety reading? If he's in cover 1... he shouldn't be looking at that at all. He should see, hey, there's somebody running free. He's in my zone. I need to take him. Does he only zone to the quarterback rollout side? Does he just ignore if a defender is in his zone? Or did Coach Fritze know that, hey, they're playing cover 1. We can do something to trick the deep safety. They tricked the deep safety, and I think that's Cedric Tomes over there, right? He just committed to Minnesota basketball, by the way. It's a 3-star, not that kid. Eastridge quarterback. It's a 3-star point guard right there. Go Gophers. It's a nice dot. If you would have hit him in stride, could have been cool, or seen it a little bit earlier, and it would work against a better team if you see it earlier. But against Park, it worked pretty well. So my immediate takeaway from the first drive is that Eastridge, great play calling, and the execution can be cleaned up a little bit on some of those run plays. Like I said, running back needs to follow his blockers, and he'd do solid. And then for Park, I don't understand the defense. We are 8 plays in, and I have no clue what your defensive scheme is. I don't know what the rules are of your defense, other than there's a little bit too much going on, and it's confusing. I'm assuming it's confusing for the players because nobody picked up the X receiver there, and it looked like a cover one nickel package. Which again, why are we running a nickel package into 12 personnel? 11 personnel I can understand, but also I forgot to log into chat here. I want to make sure that I have that over there if I need to post chat or anything. So I got that on the other tab. That's just so bizarre. Like I don't know. A 2-4 nickel into 12 personnel. It's just asking to get run on. And Eastridge was running on him, and they're like, all right, now you're committed to the run. Coach Fritze, let's give him play action. Boom. Touchdown. So, yeah, quick strike for the Raptors against their school district rival. Not in districts. They're technically different districts in football, with Eastridge being in the Metro East and Park Cottage Grove being in the Metro Maroon. Oh yeah, I forgot. Eastridge has an insane kicker, by the way. Does this go through the goalposts? Pretty darn close, but touchback. Hey man, if you can have a kid that can get touchbacks in high school, just do it. Like, if you go out of bounds or are short... Was it raining? Yes, as you can see, it was definitely raining. This is week 1 from the 2024 season. That was Thursday night for a lot of these 6A games. Right before, not Memorial Day, Labor Day. That's the one in September. So this was before Labor Day, and almost all these games were actually put on a rain delay. Like, for example, Lakeville South at Wyzetta, we delayed kickoff on Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to avoid the storms that were rolling through the Twin Cities. I'm assuming this game's probably delayed too, because I can see some glare from a bunch of the lights. Oh, shaky cam. Oh, ooh, we gotta get the cameraman working on the stand. So, all right, we got spread offense, 11 personnel. We've got Trey open, tight end, 2 receivers. I'm assuming that's your best receiver over there. We have a base 3-4 defense. Are we in pistol? We're in pistol spread. So here's 3-4, outside backer. No, that's an inside backer. Interesting they put an outside backer all the way out there. Safeties are switching. I'm assuming he's a free safety. He's the strong safety. They're stacking to the multi-receiver side. Motion away. Oh, motion into 12 personnel. So you get an H-back coming in here. He's the Z, most likely. No, he'd be Z, because that's Y, X, Z, that is H. Strange. Where did the safe... So, okay, so hey, safety moved down. What does that tell you that outside backer's doing? Oh, X stunt. We have a stunt blitz right away. Oh, good pickup by Park Cottage Grove. Look at that. The tight end takes the D end. That's a great job by the tackle, picking up the outside backer who looped inside to blitz. Good job, Park Cottage Grove O-line, picking that up. Oh, and what is the first play of the game? GH counter, the meta. There we are. Guard's pulling around. He should kick out. As we see the backside end, left untouched. Eastridge kicker's going to Alabama. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He might have signed with Minnesota, but he went somewhere. See, the only thing that's strange about this is the side. The nose guard gets a good side, but he's turning his hips the wrong way. That's a good double team at the point of attack. Center moves up to... Does he stay with the nose, or is he the one that takes the backer? He slips off to backer. I mean, that's a great double team at the point of attack. Where's the kick out block, though? That's where things are getting dicey. 77 went... He's taking way too wide. He's like bubbling out and around. It should just be step straight down the line. Believe he switched. I think he did. So yeah, this is really strange. He needs to be blocking down there, and then he pulls underneath and takes the inside linebacker. Problem is, the guard or the backside guard completely missed outside backer. The other blitzing backer does a good job block shedding, and the backside of the line just kind of lets go and gives up after a while. Like right there, they both give up. The running back's not even at the line of scrimmage yet. Like, you got to keep playing till the whistle. You don't just say, oh, I touched him for a second, now I can just stand and watch. Speaking of standing and watching, what in the world is this? Oh, boy. I mean, the corner's not involved in the play anyway, but yeah, they're both just trying to block. Have them do routes or something. Like, if you're going to be more of like an Edina or a YZ, you want an RPO type system, here's Edina for you right here. Eyes are this way. You have a second level D-gap defender right there. You have a slant there. What does he do? He sits, so it'll be a run play. You could easily do something like that. And then obviously the guard completely missed the kick-out block because he went bubble instead of straight down the line. Do I have access to 1A through 5A film? No, I do not. So the only film where I can pull, or the only place I can pull film from is from the 6A pool. So I do not have access to 5A film. The only way I'd be able to find that is if, say, there was a game on YouTube, like here's Park Cottage Grove versus Minnetonka. Well, this is a 6A game, but some teams put their game film up on YouTube, or maybe a parent records it like the Buffalo parent did. Or I'd probably just have to reach out to one of their coaches and say, hey, can you send me this game footage from last season? Most likely that's going to be a no. Unless it's a team that you both play or something. But yeah, it's pretty uncommon. I don't know. Also, something funny. I gotta see if I can't find it here. I'm gonna mute it until I get... because there was a little bit of a delay with the start of this. But the Minnetonka announcers for this playoff game last year...
when that team happened, so I wasn't super plugged into Minnetonka football, but on the return, it looked like number 13.
Yeah, I don't know if they say it, but they refer to Park Cottage Grove as Park Center. They're so disrespectful, they don't even know what team they're playing. They thought Park Cottage Grove, if you go back and watch this live stream section playoff from this past season, they literally think Park Cottage Grove is Park Center High School. Because I was listening to this game the other day, and I heard them say that, and I'm like, wait, huh? Had to double back, and I'm like, no way. The announcers don't even know what team they're playing. And it's not like there's that many park schools anyway. Park Center, Park Cottage Grove. Is there another park in... No, I don't think so. I think that's only Park Cottage Grove. Well, no, they are St. Paul Park. I don't know. Spring Lake Park? But that's 5A. Who knows? Strange, but no, I do like the GH counter. It definitely was there. You have a great double team. The big problem is the backside did not maintain their blocks. The hugest issue is the pulling guard took a bad angle. He went way too deep instead of just 45-degree down the line. Because even if he takes this side and turns him out a little bit, that's all you need to do. How do you get access to the film? Become a coach. That's pretty much all I have to say. Or just search it up on YouTube. Like, say you want to... Who does Jefferson play this season? I want to say Jefferson. I think I actually... No, it's in my Google Drive somewhere. I did have access to the 5A schedule. I know one of their games is Matamidi. So, like, say... I'll just open another tab here really fast. Matamidi. Say I want to watch Matamidi varsity football. I don't know if they stream any of their stuff. I don't think I've ever seen them. Matamidi. Yeah. Oh! Zephyr Sports Live, and there you go. Matamidi versus... When was this from? 2 years ago. But if you can find, like, one of their channels that does that... Yeah, see, here's all the live stuff. Stadium recording. Varsity lacrosse. Doesn't look like they did any football. Soccer. Some teams do take football off. Like, was it last week we were looking at... I was trying to find the Rogers versus Sartell game, and Sartell had actually taken all of their varsity football film off of their YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, really? Sartell football live. You know what? I forgot live stream. And it's just straight gone. I was so shocked. Sartell versus St. Cloud. This might have been it. So here's the channel, and they just took all their varsity football down. Like, if I go all the way back to this past football season, it's just straight gone. And I know it used to be up there, because when I was at the football coaching clinic down in Atlanta with some of the Sartell coaches, I was watching this game. But as you see, it's all taken off. It's JV football, freshman football. Where's another one? JV football. There's another one, freshman football versus Bemidji. I don't know where their JV football. All the varsity football, here we go. Freshman football, it's all gone. Sauk Rapids Rice, JV. Yeah, and that's it. I don't know where all the varsity football film went, but I think some teams finally wisened up to the fact that, hey, our school districts are putting free footage of us out there for anyone to go watch. Can't wait for Kennedy versus Jefferson. You know, I don't know if they're playing for the trophy. The last time Jefferson and Kennedy played in football was actually my very first year coaching at Jefferson in the 2018 season. Last time the two teams have played. It's been 8 years since they've matched up, and they've managed to avoid each other in the playoffs every single time, even though they've been in the same section. Funny how that works, but yeah, I'm really excited for it. Honestly, Jefferson should win. We had the class that are going to be seniors were fantastic kids as freshmen. A lot of talent there, both linemen and skill positions. Abe Brugman's going to be a stud. Carter Fleischhaus was a great corner. I wish that, and obviously Judah Sorensen, can't forget him. But Anders Bjorklund, he was our middle linebacker, the smartest football kid I think I've ever had, best linebacker we've ever coached. Kid was an absolute stud. And then Tanner Williams, Carson Christensen at safety, those two were good. But yeah, just Anders Bjorklund needs to go back to playing football his senior year. You heard it here first. Jefferson will get that dub. And Jefferson should make it to state, because their playoff section is not that difficult. Yeah, so back to Park. After our long tangent, back to Park Cottage Grove versus Eastridge. So first down, pretty predictable run team, no RPO. If you want to throw RPOs in there, you don't necessarily have to do it. I know there's a trophy and a case at Jefferson. You know what? That probably is where the trophy is, because in 2018, varsity did win the trophy. I remember being on the field that night. It was a little bit rainy. Actually, they had police, like Bloomington police at the stadium. And they did not believe I was a coach. They asked for my student ID, and then I said, "Oh no, I'm a coach." Then they asked for my staff ID badge, and I'm like, I'm just a coach. Like, I don't work for Bloomington Public Schools. So we actually had to get, I think it was Mr. Nyberg, the athletic director, had to come and talk to them to let me into the stadium to do my stats responsibilities for varsity on that Friday night. That was pretty funny. Oh, how times have changed. But anyways, now we're in 12 personnel. We got a double slot look like Shakopee, but we're still in gun. All right, what do we know? Running backs offset to this side. It's got to be a run that way. But which way did the guard and H-back pull? Guard and H-back pulled. So the first two run plays have both been GH counter. Wow, that's crazy. Yep, sometimes things can be crazy. So again, GH counter, guard does a little bit better job. No, the guard just misses. He doesn't get anybody. And then he actually runs into his quarterback. What? I'm surprised. You've got a great... Well, that double team at the point of attack wasn't as good. He should be getting hit by the H-back. Then who's... Why is he blocking him? Okay. Does Eastridge only have 10 defense? No, one of the safeties is stacked down over here. Alright. We need to draw this up, because I don't know if Park Cottage Grove has any idea what's going on right now. Wonder if Mason West is going to play football or hockey in college. So, from what I have heard in talking with a close contact to him, he's still going to play football this year. And he's going to finish out high school, but then after that, I don't know if he's even going to play college. I think he's going to be a first-round NHL draft pick before he even has a chance to play college hockey. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the whole Mason West thing. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of him in, or any of him at all in college. So here we go. And then let's just get a defense drawn up here. nose, and then backer, move him into more of a 30, outside backer, corner, free safety, and then we'll give the strong safety the $sign. So this is the defense they're seeing, and they're trying to run GH counter. For some reason, he tries to kick him out. These two do a good job of double teaming at the point of attack, and they get the double team up to the backer. So that part is good. He does a little seal block. The running back does a fake out this way. But then this is where it starts to get a little bit confusing. I don't know if I saw who the tackle on top blocked. Who does the tackle block? So the tackle took the defensive end that was right in front of him. And he crashed down inside. Like that. Did more of a scoop block. So now I'm confused. Your slot on this side, slot back or H-back, whatever you want to call him. He's technically a Z, but they're both H-backs. Is blocking the backer, outside backer. He's blocking the end. Who is the trap man on GH counter? Who are we kicking out with the pulling guard? And I think that's why the pulling guard's so confused, because he's like, hey, there's nobody here for me to take. What should have happened is you should have gone up to backer. The guard should have done, like we said, come more down the line and get a kick out block. He pulls around, and since you already have a tackle taking the H-back, you can switch, go take him, you take the corner, and now there's literally nobody left to make the tackle. Everybody that's coming up, because like we said, this end is getting kicked out. He's in the wash. He's never going to, and he's blitzing. He can never make that play. You can have him either do a route or go with the free safety, and then quarterback leads. He can do one step that way to kind of go with the motion as if it's a power read, and then counter back that way. Then there's your touchdown. Where will Braylon commit to next year? You know, I don't know. He's the other big name aside from Abe. I've sort of been following where he's been getting offers from, but it's hard to say. Honestly, wherever he will fit the system best. Kid's an absolute stud receiver. Yeah, spread offense that likes to pass the ball. I think South Dakota State was one of the teams in the running. Not a very pass-heavy offense. He's going to be doing a lot of blocking, which he's good at. Him, Carson, they all... Pretty much Jefferson, we've always had good receivers that can block because I coached them to do that. But yeah, all depends on choosing a system that works the best for your talents. You'd assume a lot of college coaches can pick that, but not always the case. But this is what that GH counter should have looked like. But as we saw, both of the play side tackle decided to hit the defensive lineman. For some reason, the other H-back went out there. And you know what? I was dumb. I forgot. They cheated a safety down. So they rotated their safeties down to here. So if he has to block safety, you should not need to block the outside backer. If he's taking the edge, you go outside, you go get that safety. And if that backer comes right through, who cares? The quarterback's running vertical underneath him, and he's going right there. If he blitzes over here, he's just going to be outside that defensive end, so there's nothing he can do anyway. Like, yeah, I don't understand the execution by Park Cottage Grove. I like the play call, but kind of like Blaine, their blocking rules are either not well practiced or just not well set up. I don't know. Back to the drawing board. Now, I think I kind of see why they're switching over to more of a zone-based scheme. Because what did I say at the beginning of the stream? I was expecting them to do a lot of inside zone, and thus far, first and second down, both GH counter. Regular GH counter, then quarterback GH counter. Okay, we have trips closed, because we have a closed tight end on this side. 3 receivers over here, 11 personnel. Running backs offset. I mean, if it is going to be a run play, it would run that way. Otherwise, I'm assuming it's going to be a rollout pass this way, and then maybe like a comeback to the sticks. Oh, well, I was right on the rollout. This is the comeback to the stick. I've seen 0 Park Cottage Grove film. 0. You can see it's not even labeled. There's no labels at the top. Nothing is labeled. That's how predictable it was. GH counter, 3rd and 10, sprint out, and a comeback to the sticks. Oof. And what was the coverage here? Looks like they're playing cover 3. They cheated a safety down. If that backer blitzes, he's going to stay in the flat. 1, 2, 3. Oh, big blitz. They sent 7. Ooh, heavy third down blitz. And you know what's crazy? It's a 7-man blitz, and they didn't get there. Actually, they moved a slot receiver into block. I should go coach at University of Minnesota. I am an alumni, but I don't feel ready to coach at the college level yet. I do appreciate the suggestion, though. Game gets a lot more complex. Work my way up. Become a varsity coordinator first, then maybe a head coach in Minnesota and varsity. I'm hearing there might be some openings at some pretty big schools in the next 2 I think at the start of the 2027 season. 2 of the biggest high schools in Minnesota supposedly are going to have coach or head coaching openings based on some retirements, I want to say, at that year. So we'll see how it plays out. Got to do some stuff between now and then to get ready for something like that, especially because right now I'm just a nobody. I'm a no-name NPC that just watches game film on YouTube as far as athletic directors or other coaches are concerned. So got to keep grinding. Maybe I should apply. I guess we'll see. Has to be the right system. I have to have the right coaches around me. I mean, because if you're going to be a head coach, like for either of those schools that I'd like theoretically be taking over, you'd have to rebuild the culture. Both of them need a culture change, and it depends on what kind of guys you bring in, the support from the community, the feel of the school itself, and the demographics you have, the kids that you have to work with, and most importantly, the strength and conditioning program. If you have a bad strength and conditioning program, doesn't matter how good of a coach you are, your program's going to struggle. Like, that's just the reality of it. So all of that has to be on the same page. You have to have an athletic director that supports you. You've got to have fiscal support from your booster clubs so that you can afford like a turf field or Guardian caps, which is funny enough, something I haven't mentioned yet. They Park Cottage Grove does wear Guardian caps in all their games. But yeah, there's just a lot of factors that play into that. I got to make sure that I'm as ready as I can be, because no one's ever truly ready to be a head coach. There's always going to be things that come up that you may not have the answer to or don't know how to handle. But going back to Eastridge Park Cottage Grove, I mean, that's a full-on 7-man blitz, and it looked like there wasn't a stunt or anything here. It's just, yeah, everybody just go blitz. Up your gap, kind of like Prior Lake. Like, yeah, we don't need stunts or anything. I know that Eastridge does stunts because we saw the very first play of the game on that GH counter. They had a nice little defensive end went up, outside backer looped in around him, and Park did a good job picking it up on a run play. I was really impressed by that. They didn't maintain their blocks long enough, but they were at least there. And then we talked about that. Easy comeback. That's just execution. And it's tough to run. Consider the conditions. It's rainy outside. Looks like he was looking more at the sticks instead of where the receiver was at. It was looking more at the sideline. Maybe the receiver needed to run a better route, come back more to the sideline there. Instead, he kind of turned around there. So, I don't know. It just looks like something they haven't really practiced all that much. Oh, look at this punt formation. Am I missing somebody? Do they have 8 on the line? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They do. That's unusual. Technically, that's not a penalty. In college and the NFL, if you have more than 7 men on the line, it's a penalty. In Minnesota high school football, as long as you have at least 7 on the line, it's a legal formation, and you can actually have more than that. So I'll add another page here to our scouting thing, or just stuff we've been looking at. Call this Sen 10. Or Senet, sure. Sen 10s, because Centennial did this in the state title game. So you have your usual center, left guard, left tackle, right guard, right tackle. So what did they do? They put Dalen Cummings under center right there. Then they were double tight. You've got Y, you've got your X. But then off of that, they took Z and they put Z on the line too, and then had H in the backfield. Just off there. And then here's your R. And that's what they ran. It's technically a legal formation in Minnesota, even though, like we said, there's 8 men on the line of scrimmage. It is legal. If they wanted to, you could have 9 or 10 men on the line of scrimmage. If they wanted to run a formation like that, that is legal in Minnesota. As long as you have at least 7, you can run something like that. Or say they wanted to do like that, quarterback, and then they have H-back pistol. That's also legal. So yeah, there's definitely some creative stuff they can do. And that's why this punt formation is legal, because in Minnesota, you're allowed to do 8 men on the line of scrimmage on offense. Kind of a fun rule. Not many teams take advantage of it. Like I said, the only one that I know of that I've like seen on film was Centennial in the 2023 season. That's it. Punt, not very far, and now Eastridge only has to go 45 yards to score. So, special teams mistake, not getting a good punt. Offense went 3 and out. We didn't know our run game blocking rules. Does South have anyone going D1? I don't know if we have anyone going D1 from this current class. I guess we will see. So we got wing twins again, 12 personnel. We got the wing down here, twin receivers up there. Which side's the running back on? He's not in pistol. He's over here. So if it's a run play, it's got to be going that way, right? When you look down, running back, H-back's on this side, running back's over there. Most likely run play that way or a pass play up here. Let's see what we got. So, who's getting the ball? Remember, we just talked about this. Running back can only run that way. The guard and the H-back are not pulling that way. The running back is not getting the ball. Oh, and look at the Park Cottage Grove defenders. They're going with the running back. Well, this one's going with the running back. He's just kind of running. He's getting pushed back. And then this dude is literally standing. Or he backs off, tells someone else, yeah, go up there and do something. Then he stands there for a second. The safety doesn't know what he's doing. And they're still playing the 2-4 nickel into 12 personnel. How about from the last class? Connor Cade went D2. Gavin Dean was D2. Jonah Shine was... I don't remember if Minnesota State Moorhead is D1 or D2 or D3, but that's where he went. Caden Bonds went to UMD. That's D2. I don't know if we had anybody go D1. I know that, originally Bo Bachman was going to go D1. He was committed to St. Thomas, but then he ended up going to Mount Union, which is one of the best D3 teams around. So yeah, I guess he's the closest we had to D1, but he decided to go elsewhere so he get more playing time. Dang, look at how much better this GH counter is. See how they don't block the end man? Remember, when Park Cottage Grove ran this, they were blocking the guy that was supposed to be kicked out. Guard does a kick out. Running back sort of fall. No, this should be... What? I was giving Eastridge so much credit. I'm like, oh, Cedric Holmes, this is a great way to get your stud quarterback that's also a D1 point, D1 point guard 3-star to run the football in space. And look, where do the linebackers go? They're both reading the running back. Do I think Danny King will start for Nebraska? Hard to say. I don't know that I watch any Nebraska football. But look at this. He should be getting the ball right here. Instead, the running back has to counter back, and he doesn't get all the way back to the counter. He just kind of runs up the middle. So he's not even following his blockers. It'd be much better if the running back kept faking out that way, take a good chunk of those defenders with him, and then Cedric Holmes comes back that way and runs the ball. Maybe that's what they did with Tanner Zolonsky, and I assumed that Cedric Holmes is probably faster. I don't remember if Tanner was a basketball player or not. But if he's able to run the ball and use his legs, then why not have him run the ball to use his legs? I don't know. I mean, they still get good yardage, but again, it could have been a much bigger play otherwise, so that's a strange one. Now we're in 11 personnel. They split the H-back out wide, and he comes back in as a sniffer. That's a big body. And again, we're still in a 2-4 nickel. And where's the other nickel back? He's like stacked behind the outside backer instead of being out at the 2. Because see how the 2's at the numbers and he's more inside right behind him? Well, I don't understand the alignment and I don't understand the defense. The only thing I do know is we're running a 2-4 nickel into 12 personnel with 4 backers. And Coach Fritze sees that and is taking advantage and is just running the ball. Smart. Who's running and the design could be a little bit cleaned up. Like I said, that last play should have been a quarterback GH counter to Cedric Holmes. It would have worked way better. Or if it was supposed to be to that side. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. If you're going to run sidecar, they wanted to get him on the opposite side to try and trick. Like, oh, go that way, then counter back that way. Because then, like I said, normally when it's sidecar pre-snap, he's got to run that way. So they sort of tricked me a little bit. But at the same time, my backers should be reading a pulling guard. If you know a team runs GH counter and you see a guard H-back pulling, you follow it. Force him to run play action off it. So what's going to happen if he boots out that way? H-back left. The only one that's left is the tight end, and then the 3 receivers coming across to do maybe like a levels concept. But then you have DBs to come across with them, and you still have an outside backer going up there to take the bootleg. Then you've got a nickel back there to cover it, or another DB back there to cover anyone. So it's just very strange. Could have been set up a little bit better. And I still don't understand Park's defense. Like, look at this. These 2 guys are literally right on top of each other. Why do you want 2 defenders in the exact same spot? So that was the nickel out there. He's just playing in a little bit more. You see he steps out. And then what was the play? This is power? Yeah, this is power this time. So they've ran GH counter and power, their 2 plays, just like Mounds View, funny enough. And they do a nice job blocking here. See, this looks like man coverage to me, because look at where the DB's eyes are. They're not watching the quarterback. His eyes are watching him. He's not watching his man. He read run. Safety is sort of making a fill. And Eastridge has great play calling. Who are they reading, though? Are they reading the way the quarterback opened? Because both the linebackers went this way, but the running back's going that way. The guard and the H-back are going that way. I don't know what their read is. What are they keying on? They're not watching the O-line. Maybe they don't know what to watch for. It's really strange. Huh. Okay, so 3rd and 3. They could get off the field here, even though their defense hasn't been the best thus far. This is a chance, but we're in gun 12 personnel. This time it's more of a slot. Trips closed. You got slot with trips to the one side. Tight end closed on the back side. And I guess this is Park's strategy. They're like, let's just make an absolute mosh pit in the middle, and then they won't have any idea what to do. Well, remember, you're going against Coach Fritze. You want to disguise the coverage. But, does this guy drop back deep? Are they playing like or does he drop back deep? Is it a cover 3? No, it's not. They're playing like a weird cover 6 out of it, where it's man on the backside, and then they're playing a cover 2 over here. And then they just have 1 free safety over the top, so it's more of like a cover 4 on this side with man on the backside, which is a cover 6. I'm shocked that Park Cottage Grove is trying to run a defense that complex in high school, let alone for a maroon team. That's pretty wild. GH counter. Oh, look who took it this time. Good play design. And that's what, didn't I just talk about that a few plays ago? How the GH counter should have been to Cedric Tomes. That's what they did this time. What's weird, though, is that look at the linebackers. He goes and scrapes the right way. They both eventually went the right way. And then just got to follow. And we got some guys that are kind of standing around. We could have a little bit better blocking from Eastridge. He comes up. Ooh, way to lay the wood. Okay. It's a nice hit from the safety. Do you help him back up, or are you pushing him back down? Oh. Dang, he's talking smack. Don't want to do that. Especially after they just got a first down. Are they still 12? Yep. This time it's more of a pro, no, what do they call that? I call that tray open, because you have slot tight end, same side. Excuse me, with a Z receiver. X is on the backside, so you have a 3x1 look. This whole mosh just kind of flows with the 3x1. This is the outside backer. And look at this. You have man backside with nobody over the top. This is like, boom. That's what I'm seeing right now. Are we taking a deep shot? No, there's nobody. There's nobody. There's nobody. You have a deep, deep shot right there, one-on-one. Even if you just did a play action, turned around, or just 3-step drop, hit the fade, your kid's going to be able to make that play. That's there all day. So what did they actually run? They're sticking with the new 2-4 nickel. They run stretch. Oh, we missed the edge defender. Who's the edge defender? They walked right by him! Remember when we talked about this with Blaine last week, when they tried to run some of their outside zone, and they were doing it out of 10 personnel, and they just, against Anoka's 2-4 nickel? Who's the edge defender? That outside backer right there. Who did Blaine forget to block when they did it out of 10 personnel? The outside backer. When they moved down to 11 and they had the H-back come and do a reach block on him, play worked. And then you have Sam Shaughnessy running quarterback lead out there, or you have running back doing outside zone or stretch. But this makes no sense, because Eastridge has the kids lined up to get the reach block and seal off the edge defender, and they all just walk right by him. And then what does he do? He makes the play in the backfield. Like, what did you expect to happen? Why did we not block the edge defender on an outside run play where the main thing you have to do is block the edge defender? Like Shakopee on a rocket toss. What's the one thing they have to do? Block the edge defender. You'll see that slot back reach every single time. He might even do a cut block because they just want to take that kid out of the game. If that edge defender's gone, then you can run right outside of him. No problem. But, yeah, weird. I love the play calling from Eastridge, and I mean, that's to be expected with Coach Fritze, but the execution right now is not there. And I get it. This is literally week 1 matchup. It's the first game of the season, so teams are going to have some rust. But yeah, and I don't even want to give Park too much credit here, because I mean the kid does a great job wrapping up and making the tackle, so that was good. Technique, well, a little bit. He does more of a hip drop. He could drive back a little bit better, but it's more so a breakdown by Eastridge. Look at that, the tight end literally touches him and lets him go. Why? That is the edge defender. Yeah, oh, look at that. Park Cottage Grove coaches are happy about it. They actually got a tackle for loss. Nice. I don't understand that one. Okay, I saw the H-back and the guard cheating. We're in unbalanced again. You have a tight end on this side, or maybe that's a tackle they moved over. It looks like a tight end's still here. That looks more of an offensive tackle, so it's an unbalanced formation. How much you want to bet it's just GH counter that way? Quarterback GH counter. Do the fake there. You can see who do they go with. Actually, that wasn't all that good of a fake. Nobody went with him. Oh, the guard. What is with... Aim inside shoulder. No, you aimed outside. You gotta aim inside shoulder. Step here and cut him off. You don't want to go around because they can come underneath and make the tackle. You want to step underneath and keep him out that way. Because if he bubbles around that way, Cedric Tomes has already passed him. You don't have to worry about him in the wash. But if you try and just run straight at him or go around, it's not going to work. You have to go to the point of attack. Also, decent block out here by the receiver. That's pretty solid. He does a good job turning his hips. You need to get up there and do a better job getting there. Is that the H-back getting through? Look at the H-back right here, number 16. Nice block on the inside backer. He bullies him over. Boom. Probably would have aimed. No, that's the next person you're supposed to get because he's the next one up. I mean, it's not going to be a touchdown play, but it's a great designed run play, and they executed it pretty solidly. The blocking scheme was sound that time. And it's a great way to get your quarterback the football. Get the ball in the hands of your best player behind the best blocker. That's generally how offenses function. Every team just has a different way of getting to that ultimate goal. Yeesh. How many plays was in this game? Oh, only 144 this week. Yes! Oh, remember last week was almost 6 hours worth of stream because it was 192 plays, albeit there were a lot of those weird S plays on either penalties or uncalled penalties on Anoka's film, and then obviously they recorded the cheerleaders and all kinds of other weird stuff, like youth football at halftime. And then Prior Lake, Forest Lake was like 160-something. So it's nice to have a game that's going to be a little bit shorter, which is weird because these are both spread offenses. But from what I've seen, Eastridge is doing a great job running the ball. And speaking of running the ball, we're in double tight. We're in like a goal line formation here. 23 personnel. We got 2 running backs, 3 tight ends. So that's 23 personnel. Park Cottage Grove is finally in a 3-4 defense. Were they in the nickel last game? Yep, they were in the nickel last play. But now on 3rd down, they saw a heavy personnel package come in. They've shifted back to their base defense. They do a blitz. Why? What is going on back? So, okay, you can tell 3 down linemen. These are the backers. What are they doing with the DBs? I'm assuming... So what I can sort of see is that if this safety is supposed to replace the blitzing backer and they're doing like a stack coverage, and then you're doing cover 3 underneath it, that's fine. You need to be out wider. You're pretty good aligned, but how can you run cover 3 if you're right on top of safety? This is just poor alignment. You need to be up there more. You need to be out more. And then there's your cover 3. There you go. And then you would have a hook. You would have a hook. He's blitzing. Then 1, 2, 3. 2 underneath. I guess if you're blitzing 6, you only have 5 in coverage, so that'd be their zone. But yeah, I mean, that's just what I'm seeing right there. That's what you could easily be doing, but misalignment. You're like in some weird triangle here. Like, why do we need to do that? And then he's a little bit too far off the ball. He's at 12. I'd like to see him up here at 10. So yeah, there's definitely some alignment things that Park Cottage Grove could clean up. But what play is it? It's power. Guard pulls around. Fullback is doing a kick out. No, it's bootleg. Ooh, it's bootleg. Nobody took the fullback because we don't know what the coverage is. Corner. Who did the corner take? He sees his man blocking and stays with him. That means the next person over is supposed to take the fullback out of the backfield. But he's way in the wash. Again, what is Park Cottage Grove's coverage? What is the defensive scheme? It looks like they're playing cover one this whole time with a single high safety, and then everyone else underneath is just manned up. Because he looks like he's manned with the tight end. He's manned with the fullback. He's staying on the tight end on the backside. He looks like he's reacting to the running back. I don't get it. Why, especially if you don't think your kids can cover that well, just, if you're in a 3-4 defense, play base cover 4. Or even if you're, say they're still in their 2-4 nickel. Let's go back here against, yeah, we'll go against this, because this was 11-ish or 12 personnel. Erase some of these lines. Suppose that you're in that same, or just in a 12 personnel look here. Instead of stacking, play 2 high safety. Do that. Keep H out there. Yeah, that's Y, Z. So you're 11 personnel right here. Boom. Now you've got cover 4. You can play cover 4. And if you do want to stack a safety down, because say you're going to blitz him, stack the safety next to the backer, send him, back him off, rotate to the middle. Now you have cover 3, and you don't need to drop them off. Say he takes the flat. You're going to blitz him, only take 4. He can take the flat, or if you don't want to blitz the backer, you can stack the safety behind that blitzing backer. He goes. So now you've got 4 blitzing. Boom. Flat, flat. You know what? Let's draw some zones. Flat. Give me another one. Give me another one. Hook to curl. Hook to curl. Flat. And then deep third. Nope, get out of here. Deep third. Yeah, give me the square. Rectangle. There we go. Deep third. Play coverage like that. That's super easy. Give them a cover 3. You've got 7 in coverage, 3 at the deep level, 4 at the second level, and then you're attacking with 4. That's what Park, I feel, could be doing, and that's way simpler than trying to run a weird cover 1 or cover 6 variation. It's so complex, and I don't think the kids understand it. And I mean, for Coach Fritze, he's like, oh, we just have man underneath. Let me just call some crossing stuff or get it back out of the backfield that crosses with the tight end. And it's wide open. Did they go back, please? Base defense? Okay, they're staying their base defense. They're smart. They finally went into their base defense against, 23 personnel. They wouldn't do it against 12 personnel, but now that we're in 23, they feel a little more comfortable. It's really weird that they were in their nickel package against 12 earlier. It's just not something you see. If teams really want to push it, you'll see a nickel against 11, but mostly 10 personnel. Very rare. I mean, not even very rare. Just essentially, you never see nickel against 12 personnel because it just becomes too much of a liability against the run. Because now you have 2 tight ends against a defense that's missing a linebacker and has, or a nose guard for that matter, if you're Anoka or Park Cottage Grove. That's just so bizarre. Stretch again. Did we block the edge defender this time? What happens to the outside backer? This time they turned him out, and then 2 guys got the same. So if he's the edge of the defense, you go up to back, and they'll let the fullback get him. Again, it looks like their blocking rules just aren't there. Instead, they double team the. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the blocking scheme. I mean, everyone's just reaching to the left, but they don't know what to do at the point of attack. That forces the running back to hesitate a little bit. And then this is just a great job by Park Cottage Grove's. Is that the nose guard? This is the nose guard. Look at him. He fights off a block. I think they slanted that way. Kid does a great job. Look at him. He's fighting half a man. He rips underneath. He gets off the block, and he's right. Oh, he slips, but he was right there. Oh, helmet came off. Take a little bit flatter of an angle. So he does a good job fighting off here, but he's still running upfield. Don't get vertical. It's outside zone. Get down the line there, stay in the wash, and then these other guys need to do a better job filling. Yeah, I'm just really shocked that Eastridge is kind of struggling, that's not a word, struggling with the block at the point of attack. Same formation out of Eastridge, still 23 personnel. Park Cottage Grove is finally in their base. They're still stacking a safety down. So you've got DBs with 1 high safety. You've got your 4 backers and then 3 D linemen. This is so weird. Like, if you're stacking the safety... And again, the corners aren't out all that wide, so if you hook him, you can get out there pretty easily because they have to get all the way out there. Is this trap or just a dive? That's just straight fullback dive. Dude. This is just being a bully at this point. This is the Prior Lake caveman offense right here. Just like, yeah, just run an attack. No. Did they run an option play? It can't be, but it almost looks like an outside veer because the D-gap defender's unblocked out there. Nobody touches him. And it's just double teams the point of attack. It looks like a shot, but then again, if it was shock P outside veer, he would be running D-gap right off there. There's your pitch man. It does look like an option play. I'm shocked. So they have GH counter, they have power, they have outside zone, and now they have triple option. I mean, those are 3 different run schemes. You have a power running scheme, you have a zone running scheme, and then you have a triple option running scheme. I mean, that's the 3 major schemes right there in 6A. Like, you got your Egans, your Shakopees that do your option, and your Centennials that do your triple option inside veer and all that. Then you've got like a Lakeville North, Lakeville South, and like a Maple Grove that are more your power schemes, or even like Mounds View, power and GH counter. Then you've got more of your zone teams, like your Anokas, your Blaines, your Wyzettas. But apparently Eastridge is just all of the above. Go figure. That just, and again, it's going, like, thinking of Prior Lake, when you have such a big playbook, how do you practice all of it? And I think I asked that with Blaine. Like, how are you practicing? And it's not like Blaine had that many plays. It looks like they just didn't have good blocking rules. With Prior Lake, they like, oh, we'll keep going back to buck sweep. Now we have all these different plays. And I guess Forest Lake kind of did that a little bit too, where their playbook just was a little bit too big. But the plays they did run, they executed pretty darn well. Other than their bubbles. You know, we talked about those bubbles and how the receivers kept cutting back inside into the wash. And they do it again. Another option is just a dive. It's if you look at who's left unblocked, that time it was... right there, so that's more of a midline. That's a B-gap defender at the first level that they're leaving unblocked right there. And then if it is the case, this is a bad read by the quarterback because he comes through, and what does he do? He takes the dive back right away. If he takes the dive back, you go out here, then you pitch, and there's your touchdown. Is it just given that you have to give him the dive? It's not even a true triple option? I don't know. Still in 23 personnel. Why get out of it? If something works in football, you keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore. I learned that from Coach Hamilton up at Elk River. Smart man. Power this time. Bootleg again. Oh, they smartened up. Look. He took the fullback. They took the fullback, and he's mostly covered. Cedric Tomes has to just scramble. I mean, it was decently covered. Where's the outside backer, though? Outside backer should always be coming up to take the quarterback. The outside backer dropped in coverage. Why? Because they're in man coverage. Cover 0 at the goal line. Look at all these guys just kind of wasted in the wash. A lot of guys standing around, too. This is like the ultimate popcorn football game. Just lots of kids standing around. Okay. Eastridge again. 23 personnel at the goal line. They do so much. Also, bald guy in the reflection right here. Well, I wouldn't say he's entirely bald, but, oof. Hairline has seen better days. Is this it's another one of those option plays. Now this time, who'd they leave unblocked? Oh, they touched that backer. This looks more like an outside veer because the edge defender's unblocked. But again, look at where everybody's going. Run right there, and if he has to pick between the two of you, if he's playing up there, you take a sharp angle off the butt, Cedric Tomes touchdown on outside veer. Like, it's there. But again, how does Eastridge practice all that? Do you have, because like with Centennial, they do such a good job with their reads. because it's one of the only plays they do, like inside, outside, veer, and midline. Essentially, it's all just reading a first level gap defender. And if he stays there or comes upfield, I give the dive. If he attacks the dive, I keep the ball. And that's it. Those are the only options. Those two things. And you do that for all three of those plays. And they just rep the crap out of those three plays. Egan, same thing. They do midline, inside, and outside veer. They rep the crap out of all three of those. And it's the same read, essentially, for the quarterback. So it's easy to practice. When you do that, it also makes it tough for your O-line. Because think about it from Eastridge's O-line perspective. They have to know GH counter, which is more of a power scheme. They have to know about pulling and everything. They have to know zone blocking like stretch, which everyone's got to be able to reach. So 2 different blocking schemes already. And you throw veer blocking on top of that, which is sort of similar to outside zone. I can see it sort of works. A lot of scoop blocking instead of reaching. But then you have to know about double teams at the point of attack. You have to know about who to leave unblocked on any given play, which they are leaving guys unblocked. But the double teams at the point of attack aren't getting off too well. I mean, they're doing okay for Eastridge, but the big thing is that the quarterback's not making the right read. So like this time, this one was a correct read because you see how the defender is staying there upfield. What do you do when D-gap defender stays upfield or runs upfield or stays there? In the D-gap on an outside veer, the dive gets the ball 100% of the time. So this one's the right read, but there's nobody taking the pitch man. Rocket toss, just pull a shock peep. There's nobody taking the pitch man. You can easily outrun him. Yeah, that's strange. I don't get it. Now we're at the goal line, and speaking of the goal line, Cottage Grove apparently doesn't have a goal line defense package. They're playing their regular 3-4. They're just going to dive it to the left right there. And it's going to go in. You can see that pre-snap. Like, what? And it works against the 3-4. Look at how much space there is between the end and the nose guard. And look at how many guys are 2 yards off of the goal line. Over half the defense is. Like, what? What? I don't understand. And they're sticking with a single high safety. Like, my dude, who are you manned up on? You're in the back of the end zone. You can't... Well, what's the point of playing cover one in the back of the end zone? Your zone is that small, if even, because that cheats up into their zone. Your zone is literally like that small. Why do we need to cover one in the end zone? You either run cover 2 or man coverage down there, generally. And then he doesn't come up, and he literally does nothing this play. See, by the time he comes up to fill, it's the goal line. You're still 5 yards deep in the end zone. Yeah, I do not understand Cottage Grove's defense at all at this point. And we're still in the first quarter, aren't we? It didn't show me the scoreboard this time. But as of right now, it's 14-0 Eastridge. Did they get this? I'm assuming they got it because they had 28 points. If they did miss one of these, then they would have gotten it back. Yeah, that kicker's too good. He got all his extra points. Okay, so just like that, we're still in the first quarter, and it's already 14-0. Mostly because I don't understand what Park is doing. All right, Park back on offense. 10 personnel this time. Pistol, likely passing scenario. Running back's offset. A little bit offset to this side of the quarterback. Just a pinch. Will they pass? Oh, offsides. Yep. Oof. That's rough. Come on, Eastridge. You know better than that. Also, easy to tell who's blitzing, right? I'm surprised they didn't stack the safety down. Are they going to roll him down later? Yep, they did roll him down later into coverage, and you can see you're going to have a cover 3, 4 guys underneath. That's what I said Cottage Grove should be doing, and then they ran... Well, actually, they ran 5. He kind of sat back, though. Yeah, that's the other backer, my bad. Oh, no, they kept him back. They only blitzed 4. Again, smart. Safety stacked down underneath the blitzing backer. And they ran power? No, they ran line, just like Mayo and Prior Lake does. They pulled a backside tackle. Look at the play side tackle, though. He just completely gets beat. A defensive end should not be able to work all the way around. Look at how... I gotta give the defensive end credit. Takes half a man right here, slaps the hands down. See how he's not getting upfield? He's maintaining his gap and he's turning the lineman so he can play straight down the line. The blocker doesn't get him. He gets underneath and he makes a tackle. Linebackers could fill a little bit faster, like this linebacker. Look, the hole's opening up. Get up there and go attack. So the linebacker played it a little slow. But that was a good job by that defensive lineman. Really fought around the edge there. Timeout Park. That's 2 timeouts, Park Cottage Grove, in just the first quarter. Oh boy. 12 personnel this time. Sniffer this side, tight end. No, tight end's down here. It's unbalanced. This is some Prior Lake stuff right here. What are they going to do with it, though? Eastridge is not adapted. If you look, they're still in their base defense against an unbalanced formation. The DBs don't know what to do. The safety's like, hey, man, what's going on here? They took a timeout. It looks like he called timeout right there. Did he? Or is it a penalty? DC is looking around. I don't understand. What's going on here? Oh, well, I guess they jumped before the ball was snapped. Oh my goodness, we don't even know the cadence. We don't know the cadence? Now we're back in the 12 personnel. Last time they're out of this, they did GH counter. I wonder if they're going to do it again. Ooh, no, this time they called quarterback line. No, this isn't even quarterback line. It's just an inside zone read. And this is a solid read. What do? They go down there, quarterback comes around, and then you lead block on the edge. Oh, but he slipped on a banana peel. No, look at that. He actually trips over his own blocker. I'm going to play it in slow motion. Watch, right here. Trips over his own blocker's heel. Ooh, that's rough. It's a good play call, though, and they executed it pretty well. It went opposite of the inside zone, and the whole Eastridge defense all went with the blockers, thinking it was going to be inside zone. 10 personnel again. We going to pass on first down? Nope, they ran a bubble. Go to the outside. Don't go in. This time it makes a little more sense for him to go in, because what did the corner for Eastridge do? He attacked the edge and he forces him back in, and then there's all of his buddies right here. So that's just a great job by Eastridge. What Park could have done better is, if it's a bubble, look at what this receiver does. Get up there and go give him the sauce. See how he's like shuffling up to him? And then by the time he gets there, he just kind of catches him like this. It's like, no, if he's going to play outside like that, his first steps are outside, you get on this side, attack this shoulder, half the man, and turn him out like that to the sideline. If he's along the sideline, he ain't making no plays, because then you're between him and the bubble route right there. And then all these guys still have to try and take an angle to go get him. Even if he comes up and gets him, it's still going to be a decent gain. Once again, though, Park ball carrier trips over... I don't know if he tripped over the defender that time. It looks like he got a piece of him with his hand. You got to be careful when you reach out like that. You could tear a pectoral and just, like, have your arm ripped out of its socket. So, yeah, just be mindful. Take care of the body there, please. They still got some decent yardage out of it, but, again, bubbles, it could have been a lot better of a play. And what else did I like that they did? They did it as a play action off a run play. So there is some stuff going on from Park that I really liked there. Line again, call another bubble. This time it's out of a 3x1, 10 personnel. They're bunched. Let's see when you get bunched again. You got 2 guys attacking the same guy and nobody gets up to the next level. The other thing that's weird about this, normally you call a bubble into space to the wide side of the field, but they call it into the short side. If you draw a line down the hash here, half the defense is on 1/3 of the field and the other half is on 2/3 of the field. So I'd rather take 5 men in 2/3 versus 5 men in 1/3. There's just more space to work with out there. Yeah, this is just strange. Like, I like the play call of going back to the bubble. I like that we're doing it out of trips to get a little more blocking. But the blocking rules from the receivers are not there. They're just standing there instead of driving the guy downfield. And there's just not enough... Look at this. There's no space for the receiver to work with. The defense just came and closed it right away. This is great defense by Eastridge. 3rd and 1. I'm going to guess... Or 3rd and 2. They only gave him a yard there. I'm going to guess Eastridge is going to be bringing a heavy blitz. Park Cottage Grove. Are they going to throw a quick slant down here? Again, they're playing the receivers to the short side of the field. It looks like they want to do... And they're unbalanced. It almost looks like they want to do GH counter that way. But that can't be. That's too simplistic. No, it's just a straight up dive, and they forgot to block. Where's the dive going, though? Nobody pulls. Oh, and there's the X blitz. See, that's why we like blitzes like that. It just messes with the offensive line, which is really strange because the first play of the game, Park Cottage Grove picked up this exact same blitz. But here we are a few drives later, and they get fooled by it. It's like you've already seen this. With that, yeah, see like that little X blitz? That's what I was saying that Anoka or Blaine should have, or no, Prior Lake should have done, because they were just like, just stay in your gap. Yeah, blitz once in a blue moon. And see, stuff like this works. He comes untouched, and that was on 3rd down. It's a loss. Now they have to punt on 4th down. It's such, again, great play call by Eastridge. I might have to give their defense a little bit more credit, because I know they're such an offensive-minded team with Coach Fritze and everything, but, and then look, then they come up and they fill. There's too many guys standing around. I'm not a fan of that, but the guys that are coming up and filling, that's solid. That was a great blitz. I will say, Eastridge's play calling, fantastic. Execution could be cleaned up, but the play calling itself is awesome. Yeah, there are 4 on this side. It is an 8-man line of scrimmage for Park Cottage Grove's punting team. Ooh, nice bounce. Okay, so the nice thing that they did when they got the first down with the bubble and everything and the quarterback lead, you at least flip the field a little bit. Now Eastridge has to go over 70 yards in order to score. You get 1 check mark for that, Park Cottage Grove. We're making a little bit of progress here. All right, so once again, we are still 12 personnel. Is Park in their base defense? Yes, they've learned. It took to the 3rd drive of the game, but they're finally playing their base 3-4 defense against 12 personnel. But now what's the coverage? It looks like it'd be a cover 3, 1, 2, 3, single high safety. And then they stacked the other. This guy's got to be a DB. But if that's the case, why? If that's the linebacker, scoot up a little bit. Don't be so far back. Get invested in the run game. He goes in motion. It looks like he's trying to trade him off to another safety. If that's the other safety, trade him off. Is he trying to say, hey, go up here? But then who's going to be left on the tight end on the backside? Yeah, it seems like Park Cottage Grove's rules are a little bit too intense for them. Because, I mean, their kids are just getting out of position all the time. And then there's that boot again. Nobody takes the H-back coming out of the backfield. H-back or fullback. This time it's it's the same play, but it's designed differently. It's disguised. And Coach Fritze does a great job of this. He'll run the same play, but he'll do it out of slightly different looks. And it all depends on what kid he wants to get the ball. So they still want to hit the flat out here, just instead of a fullback. They brought the receiver in motion. Now instead of a bigger, slower, lumbering kid out there, it's a little more physical. Now you're getting your Z receiver out in that same area. And he's got a little bit more speed on him. Ooh, nice job by the Park. Was that the safety? The safety, look at him coming in. Boom. Ooh. Park Cottage Grove safety, gold star. That was a nice read. We're into the 2nd quarter. Only 40 plays in. That's what I'm talking about. This game's going by pretty fast. I mean, Eastridge is running the ball a ton. They're probably like, let's just get this over with. Park finally is staying in their base defense. They stacked. So there's their outside back or their front. Corner. I'm assuming they flipped a corner because they just have a safety against the backside tight end. I think these 3 are the DBs. He's still another backer. I think what they're trying to do is mess with Eastridge. Like, oh, look, our defense is so strangely set up on the field that you'll have no clue who's who. But when you look at it, you can still see DBs, DB, linebacker, backer, 3 down linemen. Not too complicated. And they like cover 1 or cover 3. He's going across. So when you see that, that's man coverage, right? Now it's either going to be cover 3 or it's cover 1 with just him and then manned up underneath. He has to be manned up because he's only looking there. Ooh, run play. Was it GH counter? It is GH counter again. And see, Cedric Tomes takes the ball, running quarterback GH counter. Ooh. I gotta give the Park linebacker some credit. He's only shuffling. If he takes a better angle and gets there, that gap is closed. you got to attack instead of shuffling down the line. Attack his hip, close the gap, and then boom, blow up half that guard. Instead, you jump inside, make it easier for him. What Cedric Thomas' read should have been is to bounce it out when that happens, but he jumps back inside, and the Park kid trips him up. So yeah, again, good play call Eastridge, need a little bit better execution. And you know what? Wyzetta is really good at that. So going back to the GH counter here, if he does cheat inside like that, and the guard overtakes him, as an H-back, you need to say, okay, my guard is blocking the edge defender inside, I come out now and lead out here, and then the ball carrier has to know, okay, I see that developing, I follow on the edge. That's what Wyzetta does if they ever, like at a 4-3 look, for example, say they're playing a Dyna. That's how they would adjust their GH counter. If they can't kick that end out, they reach block him, do like a log block, and then have the H-back come around the log block on the outside, and then go up to the next level and look inside. Yeah, Eastridge should practice that a little bit more, but again, if Eastridge is running option plays, power and zone, or power and counter plays, and zone plays, it's a little bit too big of a playbook. It's going to be hard for your O-line to just learn simple blocking rules when you have that many different, like, not even run plays, different styles of run play, where you're asking your O-line to have, like, a completely different technique. That's a strange one. Okay, slot trips closed, tight end to the bottom here, H-back sniffers a little bit towards the top, twin receivers to the top side, so it's a 3-by-1 look. I mean, I want to say that it's going to be fake that way and then GH counter back this way. Nope, it's just power. Did they go back to the nickel? No. Okay, so Park Cottage Grove is learned. What were they expecting Eastridge to be all 10 personnel, and that's why they went out with their nickel package? The first game of the season is always hard because when you watch scrimmage film, none of the kids have the correct numbers, so you don't know what numbers are playing what position. It's kind of hard to ID what personnel packages are coming out. But once you get a feel for that, which it looks like Park did, then you kind of know how the game's going. From what I can tell, the entire first quarter, they were expecting Eastridge to come out in 10 personnel because they had their nickel package out there. Well, you can't run 2-4 nickel into 12 personnel. And as soon as you see Eastridge is in 12 personnel, like, you don't wait until 3 drives in to get out of it. You say, oh, they're in nickel. Get the base 3-4 out there very next play. So, yeah, I don't understand the slow adaptation. At least they eventually adapted. Like, remember, we talked Prior Lake never adapted the entire game defensively and against Forest Lake, and then last week, Blaine would not adjust at all. I mean, Anoka didn't either, but they didn't have to because they had the leg up. Their defense is working against Blaine. What's Blaine going to do to counter our defense? They're not. All right, then we just take it. Keep running what works. If they're not going to adjust, we'll just keep beating them. Yeesh. Oh, look at it. Another heavy eye. Sniffer down here. Tight end on this side down here. Only one receiver split out. There's like a wing eye right here because you have eye backs. You've got your wing with the sniffer tucked in a little bit. Then your lone X receiver out there. This is like some Lakeville North right here, which is funny because Eastridge plays Lakeville North. At least the last 2 seasons they did. Not this coming year. Power. Or a bootleg. Was it power or is that GH counter? It's basically power. It's almost more of like a buck sweep. Ooh, look at that. Blocking all the way downfield. A lot of kids standing. Was there a penalty here? No, they let the play run. A lot of kids just standing around. Like, look at that. What does the tackle do on this play? He pass protects? On a run play, he's pass protecting? To me, that says playbook too big. When you have linemen that don't know whether it's a run or a pass play, or maybe the play calling is too complicated. You know what? I want to say the play calling might be, at least the naming scheme might be too complicated. I have not been able to find it, but there's a clip out there where, I want to say it's Randy Shaver is talking with Coach Hamilton from Elk River and Coach Fritze from Eastridge, and he asks them each to name one of their plays on offense, and Coach Fritze is like, oh, well, like, 11 trips left, Jet Z, Y bubble, something like a whole long name. And then they turn to Coach Hamilton. All right, what's one of your plays? 40. And it's just like the polar opposite of play naming convention. And which one do you think kids are going to remember easier? Long name or 40? Yeah. And once again, they're staying on the ground. Who do we forget to block this time? This time it's one of the inside linebackers that pushes in. He does a little stunt with a nose guard. No, that's just the nose guard coming off blocks. He's working half a man. He gets off. Oh, but he doesn't flow down the line. Right here. Don't get upfield. Flow down the line. Scrape this way. Gotta go down the line. You don't run upfield. If you run upfield, you're gonna look like a fool. And he looks like a fool. Oh, I mean, they're at least getting them into third and short. Like, but the downside is Eastridge is chewing play clock. Did it not? Dude, the camera's shaking. There's nothing to look at here. Maybe I should have grabbed the Eastridge film of this. Because, yeah, this park one is very shaky. Also, peep the dude with the binoculars up here in the top left. Already dark out this time of year? Yeah, this game had to have been delayed because it's only the second quarter. They must have done like an 8 or maybe even like an 8:30 p.m. kickoff. First down, though. We're still in the 22 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 receiver. It's tight. I'm assuming they're just going to run the ball again. What's Coach Fritze talking about back there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They only have 11. What's he talking about? Did he take a timeout? Yeah, I guess he must have. Something was strange there. I don't know what that was. Also, the film's all blurry now. What happened to the camera? Did we zoom out? No, it just... all the lights came on a bit brighter now. Strange. Okay, what are we actually going to run? Boot. Yep, play... oh, not boot, but play action. Oh. Oh, that should have been picked. Deep safety's working overtime. Look, who's he supposed to go with? What is the coverage? It's cover 1, but then if it's cover 1, what are these 3 doing? I do not understand Park Cottage Grove's coverage at all, other than it's easily exploited if you go deep, because either they stick with the man or the free safety has to make a read. Is this just a wheel route? That's just a wheel by the slot. I mean, if he threw it a little bit earlier right here, and then boom, could have hit it. Well, no, because the safety would have made the read. Safety does a good job reading quarterback's eyes. He gets over there. If you could have kept running and you hit him out there, maybe it would have worked a little bit better and the safety wouldn't have been able to get there. I think safety gets just enough and knocks that ball out of the reach, though. Again, right now, Park Cottage Grove's MVP is their safety. I feel like, well, at least in the pass game, he's making really good pass plays. On that one outside run play, the outside zone, he did a good job. Or it was their ex-receiver out in the flat. He did a great job coming up and filling on that. He's making good reads, but he's like the only one that knows the coverage. None of the other defenders have a clue what the coverage is. Some are playing zone, some are playing man. Most are kind of clustered in the middle doing nothing. And you know, that's a good idea. If the guys in the middle are going to play zone and only the guys outside are going to play man, do what Eastridge is doing. Do 22 personnel, stay bunched in the middle, and force them to change. If they're all bunched in like that, they're all just covering the same ground in the middle of the field, then you can do different spout out concepts or have a wheel out of the backfield like they did that last time. Just need to do something to trick that deep safety. Another run play. Is this power this time? Yeah, guard pulls. That's power. Oh, but what does the back do? He bounces it outside. Pardon the shaky cam. I don't know why they're doing that. Fullback takes the wrong angle. Guard's going up here. He's supposed to run this way. Instead, he tries to bounce it outside, and what happens? The edge defender makes a play. Form could be better, and then another guy fills. Other guy's filling. What is going on here? Oh, he's just blocking him out. You gotta be careful. That could have been a penalty. Thankfully, it wasn't. But, yeah, if he's kicking him out, go underneath and follow your blockers. This is like classic Prior Lake syndrome right here. Like, I gotta get it to the edge. I have to run the ball outside. Bounce it out. Bounce it outside. Only bounce the ball outside. Just follow the blockers. Especially if you're using more of a power blocking scheme like Eastridge has thus far, other than their outside zone or their option at the goal line. Too big of a playbook. Oh, look at the pancake down here. I mean, that's just being a bully on the backside. But again, why are we putting that much effort into a double team and not getting up to the next level? Like, cool, you got a pancake down there, but two of you should be able to body one little defensive end. And neither of you got up to backer, who eventually scraped over and made the tackle. So it's like, what does that pancake block accomplish? Absolutely nothing. And that's the kind of double team you want at the point of attack, which was up here, not back here. So I don't know. Maybe those two guys need to be flipped to the other side, or maybe Eastridge just only needs to run to the right. I don't know. So that those guys are at the point of attack. 12 personnel again. Park Cottage Grove has learned. They're still in their base 3-4. They've ditched the nickel against 12, so give some credit for adapting. They already have adapted more than Blaine did all last game, and that was, 192 plays in that game, and they wouldn't adjust out of their base defense. Meanwhile, it's only been 2 drives, I think. First quarter was when Park Cottage Grove adapted. As soon as they realized Eastridge came out in a different offense than what they were expecting, they came out in 12 instead of 10 personnel. Boom, adjusted. Could have done it sooner. Could have been like the very next play after you realized you had a mismatch. But yeah, they eventually figured it out within a few drives. Power. Oof. I mean, Eastridge... I don't understand Eastridge blocking schemes here. So if he's jammed inside, you have a nice double team at the point of attack. You kick him out, which you do a solid job there, but then is the guard getting up to backer? And remember how I was talking about the double team at the point of attack has to get to the backer? Watch this, it doesn't. The other backer scrapes over here, and the guard misses him and turns him into the play. And that forces the running back to once again bounce it outside. Like, they just... Eastridge needs better double teams at the point of attack if they're going to continue to be a power running scheme. But then again, when they were an outside zone scheme, they struggled to block the edge defender and reach the edge defender. So it's like, just pick one of those schemes and perfect it. Because the O-line clearly looks a little bit confused between these different techniques that they have to do, for those different run schemes. And then maybe only run the ball to the right. But no, even then, if those kids get a double team at the point of attack, they don't get up to backer. Got to get to the next level if you want big run plays. Just a straight up dive up the middle. What is the play design? What? If this is is this supposed to be like a fake toss? Dive up here, toss out there? But how can it be toss out there? There's nobody to reach out here. There's nobody to lead block on the edge. It's not set up for that. And if you're going to do it as an option play, like, hey, it's going to be outside, Vera, I'm going to read this way, then send the running back that way. Why is he going this way? And you haven't run a toss. Is toss even in your playbook? How can you run that as a fake? And look, who falls for it? The deep safety might have. No, because he stepped back. He didn't step out. That was a waste. Literally 0 Park Cottage Grove defenders fell for that. What a strange design. I don't know why they would. It's 4th and 1. And again, if it's 4th and 1, why is half the defense all the way back there? Like, who cares if you make the tackle right there? They got a first down by 2 yards at that point. So bizarre. Blitz up the middle, and they're just kind of slow filling. Like, look, these two are just standing there waiting for the play to come to them. Like, don't wait for that. Go attack. If you wait for it, it's going to be a first down. And guess what? You waited for it. It was a first down. Okay, still in the base 3. No, do they put in a 4th D lineman? I can't tell if that's a 4th D lineman. They did. They stacked him down. They're playing a 4-3 with 4 tight DBs. So you've played a 3-4, a 4-3, and a 2-4 nickel all within the first 50 plays of the game. So Eastridge has a little bit too much on the offensive end of things. Park Cottage Grove has way too much on the defensive end. Like, the coverages, the kids clearly don't understand it. The secondary, this weird, like, triangle thing that we got going on is not working. Because essentially it's just cover 1 at the end of the day, and the kids are not all that good at man coverage. And this poor free safety has to run all over the field, try and take away the deep man. And then as for Eastridge, minimize the offensive playbook. What? So, good play action. And again, what's the coverage? Oh, did they get the sack there? I think they did. Oh, no, they picked. Ain't no way. And you know what? This is where I'm going to give some credit to Park. So when you do give them a different look like this on defense, the offense usually is not prepared for it. And clearly they're not prepared for it. It's that same concept where they bring a guy across the backside and they're trying to hit him out in the flat. This time it's an H-back or fullback type instead of the stud. I think that is the receiver. Sometimes they'll sneak a receiver right there. Like, I forget what the kid's name was. He was a good receiver for them in the 22 and the 23 season. I think it was a senior in the 23 season next to Mr. Zolonsky. They did a great job sneaking him back here as a sniffer, and then they would send him on wheel routes. They'd send him across in the flat, and it's like, oh, well, that's a mismatch because who normally takes that? A linebacker. And that kid is not an H-back or running back. That is a stud wideout. So good play design, or good formation design by Eastridge in order to get your best players into mismatches. That is very smart. But the play action here, they don't fall for it. Outside backers do a great job sticking with the quarterback, and then this is an inside. That's one of the DBs underneath. He gets a pick. Wow. One of Park Cottage Grove's touchdowns was a pick 6. And look, the cheerleaders can't believe it. They're going nuts. The football team's going nuts. We love to see that. That's some good energy. Oh, look at the coaches. Look at the reaction. Woo! That might be Coach Fritze himself sprinting all the way down there. Oh, look, there's confetti shooting off. Did I see that right? Is that what that is? Look at the bottom of the screen here. Boom, that's confetti right there. Is that not? Look at that. That's got to be confetti. And hey, love the defense all celebrating. I mean, if you can give an offense, you want to give an offense a different look every time so they can't ever get comfortable against your defense. The secondary still needs to be cleaned up. Well, like, was that the far side? That was the middle guy that came across to take it. But again, see how there's 3 guys there? I don't know why he looked there. You've got deep here. He's taking him. He's manned up. He's manned up. There's nobody on the backside over there. If you're getting to cover 1, you should be looking to throw deep, not manned up in the flat, especially if you're not doing a crossing pattern. This is more of like, you get 3 verts, then you get like a clear out. Like Shanhassen used to do this, where you get 3 verts, then you either have an in coming underneath, or you have another guy from the outside coming, or from the inside coming across and catching it in the flat out here. That works against a lot of zone coverages, but this isn't zone coverage. It's man coverage, and they've been in man coverage. They're the man cover 1 the whole game. Yeah, that's strange. I think this is actually Coach Fritze down here in the white. I'm trying to look for who says 1. He's telling players to get back. Who's calling for... Yep, that is Coach Fritze. He's saying 1. Yep, that's him. Hey, that's a great defensive stand. I will give Park Cottage Grove some credit. Oh, this is on an iPad. That's why. See the iPad stand right here? Interesting. Did they get the extra point? I missed that. They did. 14-7. I mean, even though the defense hasn't played all that well, Park Cottage Grove has done a solid job staying in this game off the turnover. Turnovers are one of the fastest ways to lose football games. Look at it right there. That, penalties, and kicking game mistakes. Okay, Eastridge gets the ball back. They're in that heavy wing I again. You've got the wing here. I-backs underneath. Again, the running back, I'm sorry, I drew an X, R. He's so far back. I just don't understand that. He should only be at like 5 yards, not 7. Unless they're just trying to make him that much of a threat on stretch. Maybe that's a dead giveaway. Is it going to be stretch again? No, that's time is power. Except instead of pulling a guard, they swing both the sniffers around. Oh, Park filled. No way. I didn't see who filled. Was that the nose guard or was that one of the backers? Nose guard. It's the nose guard again. Dude, Park Cottage Grove's nose guard is actually doing a pretty solid job fighting off blockers. I don't know why Eastridge is not doubling the nose guard, though. I mean, that's like 6A football 101 against the 3-4 defense. How many plays power does, GH counter does, inside zone, gap double team, fat man. That'd be the nose guard, double team there. Like, in running midline. Midline, you're going to double team the nose guard. Inside, outside, veer and rocket toss, you're not. But those, you're aiming outside of him. You're trying to crash down, so you don't need to. It's really bizarre. Actually, I want to say I lost. No, inside veer, you wouldn't need to. Depends on the defense. Yeah, it's just really strange. I don't know. I do not understand why the nose guard is not getting double teamed. But hey, you love to see that though. If you're not going to double team a nose guard's going to eat, man. And nose guards love to eat. Power again. This time I think they actually pulled the guard. They did. So you're pulling a guard and both the sniffers. And once again, the back side of the line is, they do a good job sealing right there. See how the tackle does a little skip? He's doing a great job sealing. The tight end here, though, is kind of wasted. Look, because he also just seals. You don't need to seal. Nobody's getting back out there. Go hit that safety or something. Go get a touchdown block. That safety came up and filled, but he missed again. These two are scraping over. He's containing the edge. Yeah, a few too many park kids standing around. Does the nose guard get doubled? Okay, so we remembered to double the nose guard this time. Look how effective it is. Good job. Park Cottage Grove nose guard. What did we do wrong? We're fighting two men. You can see it right here. He's got a hand on both of them. Half of the center. Work on getting hip in between instead of trying to fight two men. Unless you can deadlift however much those two weigh together, that's probably well over 600. Well, I don't know about over 600. It's probably over 500 pounds. Then, I don't know if I give him 5. We'll say it's over 400 pounds. And in high school, you should be able to deadlift more than 405, so. Yeah, it's a strange one. Defense, or the outside backer gets sucked in a little bit. The end just kind of stands there. There's a lot of standing around. Huh. Alright, next play, I guess. We're still in our base 3-4 defense. One of the nickels, or one of the DBs goes out there. Again, we're still playing the cover one. Who's going out there? Wait. Who called it? Yeah, Park had. I was going to say, as I was watching this, the outside backer went out there with a wide receiver. Well, I guess it's a fullback that they split out wide, but it's a good job to see who's supposed to be out there because, again, it's man coverage. The outside backer is now manned up in coverage in space. Why are we playing a cover one? I don't know any other teams in 6A that I've seen run a cover one except Park Cottage Grove. I guess it worked. They got a pick off of it. Change. Corner on this side. Again, they're stacking the DBs. Now it's kind of like in an L shape. And if he was split inside, then they'd be in their usual triangle. I just don't like this cover one. Because they're manned up. Manned up. Why are you... It's a run play. Why are you stepping back and inside? That shouldn't be your run fit. If you're an edge defender, up here and off the edge and force him to come back in. Don't step this way. What? Look, he's backpedaling, he rotates in, but then what do? They go outside? I mean, he still gets... Sure, he still makes the tackle, but go back and watch. Where's he making the tackle? If he goes up and he just attacked right away, he could have made the tackle right there. That's 4th down. Your defense gets off the field. Instead, he steps inside. He's making the tackle back here. 1st down. Eastridge prolongs the drive. Execution, man. That could have been a stop for Park, but because that kid wanted to go backwards and look inside for no reason. Like, if you're a 3-4 defense, you're the edge defender. Defend the edge. Don't look inside. You're not the inside defender. You're the edge defender. Stay on the edge. I don't know why it's a 2nd down. Did they cut a play out or did they forget to flip that back to 1st down? Is power again? Yeah, it's power again. Eastridge is running like the same 3 plays. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They do a really good job on power this time. Look at the double team they get at the point of attack. And they get up to backer. Look at how great it is when you actually follow your blocking rules. Double team point of attack. They get to backer. He needs to actually get out in front, be a little more patient. But I mean, it's still a great run. It's a 10-yard run, 14-yard run. I'll take that any day. They're going to play action off of it eventually. It looks like power again, and it is. Oh, who missed the edge defender this time? Fullback. Or is the guard supposed to? Yeah, this one looks like the fullback. Fullback's supposed to turn him out, and he doesn't. Does he miss or end up on the ground? Where'd he go? The guard got an inside backer that's scraping over, who's actually one of the DBs because they're playing cover one for some reason. And again, if you're playing cover one, like, sure, you've got a lot more guys stacked in the box, but they're all DBs. Like, yeah, I do not like this cover one look. At least they're not in their 2-4 nickel anymore. We learned. Looks like a jam call. Jammed up. Well, no, not quite. He might be jammed up. You have a backer on this side. So last time they motioned this guy outside, it was GH counter the other way. Oh, and look at that. It's GH counter. Oh, but there's a penalty. We knew the play, too. We knew what they were doing. Bummer. Well, now it can't be GH counter on second and long. You're behind the sticks. But they're playing wing twins tight. See how it's so tight? And the wing is to the wide side? Is it going to be stretch out that way? No, they just went back to the same GH counter. But who... Are the rules of GH counter changing? Because before they blocked both these guys, then they only blocked him and they kicked him, or they blocked him and kicked out the outside backer. Now they're blocking neither the outside backer nor the guy inside. He does a great job messing up the play, and then his backers come up and fill. Penetration kills the run game. The DN did a good job getting vertical. Linebackers filled. Like, again, does Eastridge not know their blocking rules? It just seems like they haven't practiced GH counter all that much. The guard gets out and gets after the outside linebacker, but nobody blocks the defensive end. It almost looks like they had no idea who was supposed to be the kickout man. So yeah, definitely need to clean up your blocking scheme for GH counter. I'm almost getting like Blaine inside zone-esque vibes from last week, where they just don't know their base run plays blocking rules. It's almost the exact same thing. Another timeout. Yeah. I mean, I will give Eastridge credit. The play calling is fantastic, and they're taking advantage of what Park Cottage Grove is giving them. It's just the execution is not there. That seems to be a lot of what their problem is. So maybe just clean up, maybe shrink the playbook a little bit, maybe clean up the terminology, make it a little simpler for the kids, and just focus on a few plays and run them perfectly, as opposed to running 100 plays kind of mid. Be a master of a few things instead of being mid at everything. Another boot. This is a solid read, getting a man down in the flat. Again, it's man coverage. Nobody picked up the tight end. Who's he running with? Also, deep safety takes the deep man. Man coverage. Where's he going? I guess he's staying with his man and then is just rolling out that way just because? Yeah, I don't understand Park Cottage Grove's coverage. And I don't think they do either. Was there a penalty here? How do they get so many extra yards on this if he was tackled, like, right here? Or did he slip out? Where's a penalty? Either there's a play missing or there was a big penalty. Was that 15 yards? Where's the play end? Play ends at the 40. Are they at the 25? It's a 15. So there was some kind of 15-yard penalty that's been cut out of the film that was right there. Something happened that gave Eastridge a free 15 yards. Oh, there's a helmet that pops off. Tighten your helmet down. So is this power? Does a guard pull? No, the guard doesn't pull. What is this? This is that kind of buck sweep again where both fullbacks pull around. Kind of a mismatch. Oh, this defensive end is just absolutely giving these two the business. And if you're supposed to have a double team, why aren't you double teaming him? Where's the tackles on this side? Where's the guard going? Tackle's stuck trying to go against a guy who's working already inside of him, and the guard that's supposed to help just abandoned him. Again, going back to Blaine last week. If this is double team, you have to actually get the double team and then go up to backer. And it's at the point of attack. It should be a double team. But if the guard doesn't do the double team, now there's no double team at the point of attack of all places, and now you can disrupt it. Thankfully, the backers don't do a very good job of filling. They just kind of stand there and wait. If you look around, see they both come up, but then they just stand there and wait for the contact instead of continuing to come up and fill. That's a great job by Park's defensive end. How did this kid get hurt? Is that the nose guard? Oh, he gets pushed into the ground. Gotcha. Eastridge kid loses the helmet. Sticking with 22 personnel, heavy eye formation. Again, it's the weird dive with the weird toss setup, even though no one goes with the toss. Look, he's going with the quarterback, and everyone else here is looking inside. He might be going with the toss. Yeah, he did go with the toss a little bit, but it was only like slightly. And if you never do the toss, it's just not going to work. It's such a... And it doesn't look like anything else in their playbook. It's such a weird play call. Quarterback GH counter. We see the pulls. This time, they do block the defensive end. Nope, they didn't block the defensive end. We get a double team on the backer. Double team, sort of at the point of attack. The tight end... What is the tight end doing? Who's he blocking? Nobody. Why did he wait so long? I mean, eventually we ran behind him, but he waited so long. 73, don't block him. Take someone inside. That guy on the edge is never going to get there. You don't need to block the edge defender. You block the next guy inside from the pulling guard, which would be the defensive end there. And that frees up the center to actually get a double team. Did the center guard get up to backer? No, the center gets blown back. I don't know why he's going backwards. He's supposed to double team up to that backer. Then the tight end could have taken him. Then H-back goes and takes him, and then there's your touchdown. Well, almost touchdown. It's Cedric Thomas one-on-one against a free safety. And that free safety is pretty solid from what we've seen on film. But again, the blocking scheme's just not there. The double teams at a point of attack and being able to get blockers to the second level just does not happen for Eastridge. That's really strange that they cannot get up to the second level. Again, 22 eye. This time it's a slot eye. Slot with the one receiver. Eye backs, tight end on the dead side. And this time it's more that option dive. Again, like, why do you sometimes have it like, okay, we'll dive this way, but then have a fake pitch that way? Or you have a dive with a fake run up the middle? Like, what's the difference? And if we saw if this guy is going with that back, then why would you run it this way? Because then he just leads in like that. And again, what plays does this set up? As far as I know, none of them. There's no other play in your playbook that looks like this. I mean, it works against Park Cottage Grove, but like, his quarterback GH counter again. Oh, he almost went too wide this time. Oh, they're learning. See how I complained earlier about when the edge man goes inside? The guard has to know to adapt, turn him, and then H-back goes outside and blocks and looks inside. And then that's just the quarterback doing a good job following his blockers. They learned. Give Eastridge credit. They improved from that earlier GH counter where it wasn't run properly. They didn't know how to adjust like YZ does or Edina does. But they got it. So here's what's weird. They already have 21 points. We're only 68 plays in. Game's not even half over. And they only get to 28. There's only one more touchdown. Each team only gets one more. I'm assuming this has to be right before half. Yeah, because they kneeled. No, we're only 104. Yeah, I guess that is halftime. Wow. I mean, halftime takeaways. Eastridge has cleaned some stuff up. Playbook's a little bit too big, and that weird dive play with either the fake pitch or, I guess, the fake tailback dive behind him. Nothing else looks like that. There's got to be something to set that up, or something you use off of it to keep the defense honest. Other than that, play calling's been fantastic for Eastridge. Just more of the execution. Like, the main thing I've talked about are the double teams, but from the O-line at the point of attack, and then being able to get up to backer. It's like they can't do both. It's like, all right, we're going to get a good double team, but we're not going to touch the linebacker. And if they do get up to linebacker, it's because they just completely abandoned the double team right at the snap, or it just never transpired. So bizarre. I need water before we go into the second half. This is just, oof. And then from Park Cottage Grove's perspective, got to clean up the blocking scheme. I don't quite understand it as much. And then defensively, we need to do something other than cover one. I do not understand the rules of the defense. It looks like it's too complicated. And the kids are, well, I don't know if the kids are struggling to do it, but Eastridge is taking advantage of it. Like when they split that fullback out wide, Park had to burn a timeout there because they're like, oh, we have an outside backer matched up with the fullback in space. And the DBs look like they sometimes are late to get to their landmarks because they just don't know. And especially against a team like Eastridge that loves to use motion. How many little shifts and motions have they done? Almost every play. So it's just kind of a strange defense man coverage to call into a team that motions so much. I would not call man into a team that motions. Give them some zone coverage, and if they want to pick it apart, bring some pressure. Or just keep your outside backers dropped back. They'll give them a different... If you give Eastridge a different look or disguise your coverage, it's really all you need to do to mess with them. So Cottage Grove gets the ball back. Eastridge, amazing kicker, get the touchback. Cottage Grove now has to go 80 yards to score. Let's see if they're able to do it. I'm not a gambling man, but I might have to put my money on no on this one. We'll see. Maybe they prove me wrong. I guess we'll see. Don't do a run play. That's a false start. Dude, poor receiver. So receivers should not have false starts like this. If you're a wideout, you're looking in at the football because you can't always hear the quarterback. You don't move until the football snaps. That's why you look down the line. And if you look at this kid, he's looking down the line. And he still jumps. It's like, well, you're watching the ball. So why bother listening if you're watching the ball? One thing I will give them credit for, if you look at the splits of the slot receivers, they're like almost perfectly equidistant between the tackle and the wideout. Fantastic alignment. I'll give the receivers some alignment credit there. They may not be watching the ball, but they are aligned properly. So now you're behind the sticks, 1st and 15. Are they going to hit us with a bubble on 1st and 15? I don't think they have running back screens in their playbook. Like Noka or Mayo, it's like every 5 seconds or every 5 plays you'll get a running back screen mixed in there. Was that an RP? No, this has to be play action. This couldn't have been an RPO. Where did this get thrown to? What? What's the read here? Okay, we gotta talk about this. So he shifts over, he moves down, we're playing a cover 3. It looks like, and this, give Eastridge defense credit here, this is awesome. It looks like cover 4 pre-snap, right at the snap, he blitzes, what do? They shift coverage. Now they're in a cover 3. You've got 4 at the second level, 3 at the second level, 4, I'm gonna get it wrong. You've got 3 deep, 4 at the second level, and then you're bringing 4 up here. So that's really solid. I'm gonna give that scheme credit. And I do like the play call of verts to get into, or verts against the cover 3. We talked about Prior Lake doing that against Forest Lake. That's a good play call. So what goes wrong here? Well, who do you read when you call verts? You're outside, you're in the seam, you're in the seam, you're outside. So the main thing we're reading is our free safety here. Whichever way he decides to go, we throw the opposite. I messed up here a little bit. Which way does he decide to go? Watch the snap. Cover 3, they shift over. Look which way he's stepping. Backpedal. He's going this way, right? So, free safety goes this way. That means the touchdown is right there. This could have been a Cottage Grove touchdown, but the quarterback didn't read the free safety. And the corner comes over and ends up making the pick anyway, but the free safety was over the top. Meanwhile, if we made the proper... And again, was this just not practiced? Because if you practice verts and you know you're going to get a cover 3 against it, just read the deep safety. And you can read the deep safety while you're doing the handoff. If deep safety you see goes one way, immediately throw the other. Because now he has to turn his body around to get back into position to go get it. And that's tough for anyone to do, let alone a high school safety. So, yeah, good job, Eastridge, for getting the pick and being able to hold on to it. But Park, we got to be able to read the defense. If they're giving you cover 3 and you're reading a deep safety on verts, throw opposite of the deep safety. I mean, Prior Lake was doing that same thing 2 weeks ago. They had the H-back wide open for multiple touchdowns, and they just refused to pass it to him because they weren't reading the deep safety. They were like, yeah, check down running back swing pass to Levi Eider. I don't want the touchdown. I want a 3-yard gain on a swing pass. Like, okay. All right, well, there goes your offense. Now the defense is right back out on the field. Oh, we're in 12 personnel again. Are they in the 2-4 nickel? No, they can't be. Nope, they're back in their base 3-4 defense. Two DBs are playing flip coverage, safety stack down here. We're still in a cover one. Still. And then that's just power. Actually, no, it's GH counter. Yeah, GH counter. Nice hole. Look at how nice they do it when it's set up properly. Guard does a decent job coming around. Tight end does a decent seal block. Well, tight end should be blocking him down. As soon as he sees a down block, guard should be out there. But I guess there's enough of the hole because the H-back got through and got a piece of the backers. Nice. And then that's just absolute power running there. That's pretty solid. Okay, they're not set. Is he an outside back? Yeah, see, look, he has no clue what's going on. Outside backer, they're trying to move in. He's like, wait, what? I'm supposed to be in a stance? Then he gets down and the ball's already snapped. It just seems like the defense for Park Cottage Grove is maybe a little bit going over the heads of the kids. And look, here's your triangle of defensive backs again. Are they in a nickel package again? They've got 3 down linemen. Like, is the point supposed to confuse me that... Obviously, he's DB because they're playing their man, so that means he's a linebacker. He's your other safety, because he's too deep to be a linebacker. Why is he... Whichever one of those is the linebacker is way too far off the line. There's your other linebacker, and there's your cover one. Like, I don't understand. Not a fan. And again, it's all man coverage. I don't understand why Eastridge, maybe they just want the game to end quickly because they're only running the ball, but if you do all these different crossing concepts over here, even like a push and then a fade, or say you do like a bubble and an in, just there's so much crossing stuff you can do to break this man coverage and just destroy it, or even slant, speed out. Like, there's so much, or that's not a speed out, that's more of a speed out. There we go. There's so much they could be doing, and they're just like, nope, we're just going to commit to the run game. Which also, I don't know why they're running this way if all 3 linemen are stacked there. He's on the nose. You have 2 more linemen on the same side. Beautiful gap right there. Got to be able to audible that. I'm surprised they don't call audibles at the line or do like the Wyzetta, like, hey, check, let's see what the defense is lined up in, and then give them a play call. I don't think Eastridge uses hand signals. I want to say they actually huddle up. Oh, here's the jumbo 23 personnel eye again. Power counter. No, it's the strange dive off inside veer. Why is he celebrating? He said touchdown? It's a 4-yard gain. Not even, it was a 3-yard gain. And if the defense, look at how compact the defense is. And see, Park is learning. They only have 4 DBs. Now they have 7 men up tight. So they're actually more prepared for the run. They're still backpedaling a little bit instead of actually attacking and trying to drive guys back. They're just kind of catching the offensive players. That needs to be cleaned up. You got to attack. You don't play... Ironically, you want to attack when you're on defense. If you defend on defense, you're going to get overrun. Or run over in this case. I guess they do a decent job pushing him back at the nose guard again. He kind of gets bodied. Yeah. I mean, they're not really getting a push. They're just kind of shedding blockers and getting off. Football, football, football. Yes, lots of football. GH counter again, quarterback. They're successful with this. They learned. What did I say the first play? And it's a touchdown. What did I say like that first time they ran it? I'm like, they really need to run quarterback GH counter out of this alignment. And they've been running it ever since. And look, there's another touchdown. And watch the blocking rules. See how the guard learned? Guard is like, okay, get the kick out. This is actually really well run. Tight end gets underneath. Guard kicks out. H-back runs upfield. Gets the other inside backer. And now it's just your great stud quarterback matched up one-on-one against the safety. Who's going to win that battle? Stud quarterback wins that battle. Touchdown Raptors. Again, I love the play call. Why switch off it if it's not working? And I think they're doing a great job cleaning it up. I'm assuming they have to get the extra point. That kid is an absolute stud kicker. Yep, they got it. So here's what blows my mind. This is the start of the third quarter, and Eastridge has already reached their max points. Going back to the final score, we're on play 79, by the way, in case I lose it. Going back to the final score. This is the wrong season. I think Park Cottage Grove. That's also the wrong one. Last year. Oh no, I'm dumb. It's supposed to be the 2024 season. There we are. It was only 28-14, and right now it's 28-7. Broccoli. Oh, not the broccoli. This is where it gets so strange. They're only going to get one more touchdown? Like, what? And we just started the third quarter. Park Cottage Grove will get one more touchdown. That's it. I guess it kind of makes sense. They've been kind of sloppy. I'm just curious if it's an offensive or a defensive touchdown. Because right now, avocados. Interesting. Right now, their only touchdown is the pick 6. Once again, touchback. Give all the credit in the world to Eastridge's kicker. Let's see here. 10 personnel again. Don't run the ball. Please don't. Interesting that you get a 10 personnel look, and what's it called? Eastridge is staying in their base 3-4 defense against it. They feel confident enough where they don't need to go to a nickel package. Bread this time. Broccoli, avocado, bread. Play action. Did they shift to a cover 3? They did. Nice. Are we going to throw? He should be throwing over here this time. Are all of these players taller than me? You know what? I would not be surprised if that was the case. Oh, pass interference. He made the right read, though. We learned. So I'm going to give Park Cottage Grove coaches some credit. They're seeing the stuff that I did, and they're talking about it with the kids. That is an improvement from when they threw the pick on the previous drive. Ooh, they finally wiped off some of the rain. We love to see that. Nice. Okay, so now 1st and 10. They're in their 12 personnel, double slot backs. What do they do? It looks like it's going to be GH counter. Another play action. This time the protection breaks down. It's a 6-man pressure. Look at that. Blitz 6. He's on the running back out of the backfield. Oh, did he jump? No. He did. What did I talk about last week with that Blaine outside backer against the Anoka or quarterback? Look, as soon as he jumps right here, he leaves his feet. What does the quarterback do? Reverses direction the other way. You never jump as a pass rusher. Spinning, once in a blue moon, if you get to quarterback depth and you're the edge defender, then you may do a spin inside if you know how to get elbow to him and get full body twist, and you better have a strong core to do it. Like, if you're not able to do, like, full ab rollouts and everything, you are not doing that. Tommy Lachey subscribed. Thank you. Can you teach me how to hit the gritty? No, unfortunately I cannot. And they still eventually get the kid for a sack, but, again, do not jump. Do not leave your feet. Get the hand up that matches the football, and that matches which hand is being thrown. So if I'm running the quarterback, he's right-handed, he gets his right hand up. As a defender, I get my left hand up to get into the throwing lane. 2x2 again. It's weird that even though they're on the hash, I feel like they should be in a 3x1 set here, but they're not. Oh, they did a clap. Hand signals. Only one coach is calling everything, though. He calls out something to let them know what the play is. There's your motion. I literally was just saying 3x1, right? Oh, why are they doing the bubble in so tight? He does a good job getting outside. But keep going.